Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I did. Yeah, I had a very nice weekend. It was lovely. Watched like a season and a half of Stranger Things with my friends. Worked on some stuff, trying to organize my life. I don't even know why I bother because it never happens. But no, I had a good weekend. Let me tell you what I did not have a good time waking up this morning. No, I did not. I did not want to get out of bed because it was cold. And you know what's on my yard right now? Snow. Yes, snow is on my ground. It's not very much, but still, even my trees are still green. And they're like, excuse me, we still have our clothes on, no snow. So that's super fun. I love that for us. I know many of you, my southern friends, like Sammy Sunshine, it is as cold in Alabama as it is right now in Ohio where we have snow. Can you believe that? So if it's cold where you are, bundle up. I got my blanket. Get your blankets, your winter sweaters. Because you know what? I was like last week, I planned on wearing this sweater this week. And I was like, is it too early? Is it too early for like obvious winter snow apparel? The answer is no. The answer was no. Maybe I jinxed us. I don't know. But good morning, everyone. Let's say hi to everybody because I've missed you. Hi, Liz. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you. Good morning, Juju, from cold and snowy there, too. How much snow did you all get? We didn't get very much. Like I said, we got maybe a half an inch. It didn't stick to the roads and sidewalks, but it did to the grass. So I hope you stayed nice and warm. There's Sam. Good morning, Sam. Also, she is freezing. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, babe. Lots of coffee, warm sweaters, and some blankets. I haven't busted out my electric blanket yet, but I feel like I'm going to have to earlier than later. Hi, Liz. Thank you. Loves the sweater. Thank you. I do have an egregious amount of cardigan sweaters. It's egregious. Good morning, Lady in Gray. She says, what kind of silly poll is this? Of course we want a Llama recap. Oh, well, thank you for bringing that up. I am going to be running a poll all morning to see if you guys are interested in me doing like a weekly true crime news roundup, maybe once or twice a week for when trials aren't really going on. Because this may be, I probably shouldn't even say it, but this may be our last trial of the year. I might do one in December, but I can tell you for November, though, this is going to be our last trial. Just because I have a lot of stuff I have to do, plus life things and holidays. So I'm not trying to stretch myself too thin, but I would be able to do some news recaps. We'll still do, we'll definitely do a letters from Chad. He's only written one new one so far, so I'm waiting for a couple of those to build up. And then I have some other things. So just because we're not doing trials doesn't mean there won't be couch court, but I'm trying to come up with some other ideas where I can hang out with you guys and do all this other stuff. So thank you, Sam. Thank you. Good morning, Angie. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. It's 29 here right now, but my heat hasn't kicked in. You know what Elbow Feet did yesterday? He finally took out the air conditioners yesterday. We haven't used them in a while. But yesterday when they said snow, it's kind of like, well, I guess we're going to have to take those out. It's probably the latest they've ever been in. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. They're savage saying, good morning. But this is some BS. You take your cold weather back right now. Well, I'm terribly sorry. Terribly, terribly sorry. Buffy said, OMG, I was totally going to pitch a show idea around this. Well, you and me are like, telepathic besties. See? You know, I was going to say that about the ACs. Well, I mean, in fairness, literally like a week and a half ago, it was like 80. So, I mean, I don't know. But it is that time of year. It is the wintry time of year. Another reason why I'm not sure about upcoming trials is that I have to have, like, in the wintertime, at minimum, like 10 hours of sleep a night to function. It's not productive, but that's just how my body is. If it's less than 10 hours, maybe I'm part bear. I don't know. But I do require more sleep in the wintertime. Now, you guys, hold on. That coffee almost went down the wrong pipe. Now, you guys, court doesn't start till noon today, but I wanted us to gather early because guess what I did for you? I painstakingly tried to write out what Devyn's writings that came up on day 2, the morning of day 2, I think it was. Or no, maybe it was the afternoon of day 2. Hold on, I wrote it in my notes. Maybe look at those, Llama. Day 2, part 2, 22 minutes in. I screenshotted all of the notebook pages and tried to decipher them. And it was very time consuming because they were not very clear at all. So I did my best, but I figure, you know what? We can just read through them and I'll see what you guys think. I wouldn't say that there's anything particular about this case, but it's certainly interesting, her relationship with Devier, because I'll be honest, that's what like most of it's about. So I figure we could read through those real quick. They're not very long because she only writes like 5 or 6 words on each line, which is crazy to me. But we should be able to do that before court comes. So Llama must hibernate in the winter. Yes, she must. I don't know. It's just how is anybody else like that? Where it just has to be. It just has to be 10 hours. So Juju says, oops, that message was meant for a text. Which was chatting on the phone. Call you later. Bye. I wondered what that was about, but I love it. She's busy doing jury duty. All right, so let's get into some of these writings before court starts. I'm gonna do, where's all my layouts? Oh, duh, they're right here. Get them together. Let's see how it looks if I do it big. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let me take down my llama real quick. I think y'all know that I'm live, but that way you guys can see it. All right, so these are her writings that were shown. I did the best I could. If I couldn't read it, I put unsure because I didn't really want to guess, because it could really actually be a whole lot of things. So, and the screenshots so you can see which one it is, but as you can see, they're very difficult to read. So this is the first one. It said, I wasted, unsure. I gave up everything. I lost everything for you, and you leave me at my lowest. I will never understand how it is so easy to hurt me, but you clearly do it so well. And today has been officially 6 weeks. I hate my fucking life. I wonder 6 weeks since what? Since they broke up? Or, and also, if you don't know from the trial, these did not have any dates on them, nor did they say when they thought these occurred, when the prosecution was asking the detective about them. So we don't actually know when these occurred in the timeline. Could have happened years before, I suppose, but I'm going to go that if it was out and about, it's probably at least within like the last year. But this, Devyn likes writing her feelings down, which, you know, is not bad. It's not bad to write your feelings down, but it's something. Hello on top. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have an enjoyable, easy work day for you. Hello, Pam. Hello. I woke up to snow in the grass. Me too, babes. Me too, and I don't like it. I do not want to build a snowman. All right. So that was note 1. Let's see. Note 2. A lot of it is redacted by, I'm assuming it has some very personal information there, and that was redacted by the prosecution. At the top, it says previous surgery, paragraph redacted. I have blood clots in my lungs. Then another paragraph redacted. I'm crying daily from, I'm not sure, something-ness and depression. I think it's sadness because she says that later, but I don't know for sure. So they have hinted that she had some serious medical problems. And that's why her and Devier got married, I guess, though it doesn't make any sense, but okay. But they haven't said like what was wrong with her. So never gonna dance again. I love that we're dancing so early. Look at us. Everybody's so happy to be here. All right. For the third note, it says, I will love you forever. At the top, forever. Devier, my dearest love, I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am for you. There is nowhere I would rather be than by your side. You make each day a blessing. The moment you held me in your arms, I knew I did not want anyone else's arms around me. You drive me wild. I feel completely free with you. I know that you don't judge me. You take me as I am. Even on my crazy days, I will forever be yours, mind, body, and soul. You are my man. So, listen, Devyn has it bad for Devier. This doesn't seem like, oh, we just, got together because of I needed help with the kids. It's not romantic or anything like that. Okay. I don't think so. The note 2. Oh, yeah. Somebody's dying of dysentery. Well, I'm so sorry about that, Pam. I'll stop my weather machine. Juju says, I'm starting to think Devier was involved. And I hit the like button, number 11 today. Thank you. And thank you for the reminder, Juju. Don't forget to be like Juju, everybody, and hit the like button. Lets everybody know that we're live and that we are also covering day 4 of this trial. And they want to probably hang out with us because we have a good time. So yeah, she's got it kind of bad for Devier there. Let's see. Note 4, another long one. Oh, geez, I keep pressing the wrong button up here. Note 4, which would, I'm sure, lack of judgment, felt it was, or to leave my at home without even telling me. But what makes things even better, he took, scratched out, wisdom from Kyle. Why Kyle? He overdosed and almost died. He asked Devier for gas money. He asked for abortion money. Can't hold down a job. Oh, wow. I think she's talking about Kyle. She is just, she does not have good opinions of Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. What could possibly make him anyone to ask for advice? Where is that logic? Why is everyone on the stupid bus? If he would have just called or simply texted to say, I'm leaving, girls are home alone, or ask how long I was going to be gone, something simple. Then he wants to say, our kids, unsure. How can he think that when he left them alone? I don't know if she's talking about John or Devier in this one. Kind of seems like maybe Devier, but I'm not sure. Who do you guys think she's talking about? Because I don't know. I feel like it's John because he wants to say our kids. If it's Devier, that's also interesting and weird because remember, they're also his half sisters. So weird. Let's see. Hi, Tracy. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you here. I hope you were having a wonderful weekend. Pam says, I was wondering that too. I know, right? Get your shit together, Kyle. I know, right? Oh, Kyle's business was all put on the internet today. All right, so that was note 4. Note 5. And by the way, these may look like they're easy to read, but when you blow them up, they are not. They are not. She does have fairly nice handwriting, though. So it is officially 3 days since Devyn and I have stopped talking. He doesn't really seem too fazed. In fact, he doesn't seem bothered by it, scratched out, at all. I will admit it is definitely easier than I thought it would be to not talk to him. I don't feel comfortable even being around him anymore. I shouldn't have to beg for attention or affection. I shouldn't have to beg him to be attracted to me. He probably won't even show up until late. This whole life just feels wrong. I feel like I was put in the wrong body. It's a horrible feeling knowing you have just given your heart to someone who really does not. I don't know what it says after that, but I'm pretty sure the next page is the continuation to this. So I'm just going to read that real quick before we discuss. Understand he has unsure me what John has said to me. I wonder who he is thinking of when he's holding the pillow. It's not me, because he would have just held me. He clearly did not want to do that. I'm going through so much, and I'm going through it all alone. He gets mad at me when I'm sad and depressed. This only makes me feel worse. No one seems to actually love me. They all want something from me. I feel old and ugly. My birthday is this week, and I have nothing to do. I don't Devyn would even remember if his phone doesn't remind him. The last time he left me, it was the day before my birthday. What an asshole. I just unsure. So that's that one. Juju, we don't know who Kyle is. We don't know who Kyle is, but Devyn does not have strong opinions of Kyle. Yeah, no clue who Kyle is, but he needs to get his shit together. Okay. Tracy says, I have a question about Devyn's past. Did she work in the adult industry or just her ex-husband? Has she been married 3 times? Was she married to her stepfather before? Good question, Tracy. Let's pause on these notes real quick. Now, yes, she did used to work in the adult film industry. And maybe OnlyFans, both of those things, because I guess they're different. I don't know if she still was at the time of all of this. She did have that realtor card, but they haven't said anything about her actually being a realtor. So I don't really know about that. And she's been married 2 times that we know of. Once to Devyn and once to Robert Baker. She was never married to John Willette, as far as we could find. They just had kids together. Whether or not she's been married before Robert Baker or in between the two, I don't know. I couldn't find that. But now you're going to hear or have heard that Robert Baker, who was in the Monica Cimatelli trial, he murdered her husband because they were having an affair. He actually had statutory rape charges on him in the 90s for having sex with his stepdaughter, who was 13 or 14, under the age of 14, because that was the charge. I don't know if she was 13 or 14. Then he went to prison for a couple years. And when he got out, him and the stepdaughter got married and went into the adult film industry. That daughter is not Devyn. She goes by Dee Dee Baker. I don't know if she still does, but she did. But that she and Devyn are not the same person. So Devyn had to come into the picture after he and his stepdaughter got divorced. Gosh, sentences I never really thought I would be saying this early in the day. So that's the little story there. Juju asks, what forensics do they have against Devyn? Could Devyn pinned it on her? They really haven't shown a lot of digital evidence yet. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. So far, they haven't really showed me anything that says that Devyn did do it, just that she was one of the last people at the house. So, but I'm definitely suspicious of her. I don't think she's innocent in all this. I don't know. It's a toss up for me between, was it just Devyn? Was it just Devier? Was it both of them? I don't know. I don't think that both sides, I feel like, aren't really doing a good job of telling this story and like making it make sense. The defense is poking holes, but the state is like kind of having these like wide gaps. And I'm like, okay, but like, could you fill it in a little bit for me? You know? Angie says they do look similar, Dee and Devyn. Yes, they do. They do look very similar, but they are not the same. Buffy says, so hooking up with your stepkids is just normalized in this group. It seems so. It's weird. It's very weird. All right, let's go to the next note. Note 7. She says, well, today was definitely 180 from yesterday. I personally am grateful. He really does not understand how much I love him or how much I need him. I wish I could explain to him how just his touch makes all the difference. I can literally feel my fears and anxiety melt away. I know he's tired, but he's still up waiting for me. I need to give him more credit than I have. I see, scratched out, him trying until I get mad, and that is not fair to him. Today was a better day. He took what I said and showed me that it does matter to him. Thank you for being such a wonderful man. I, unsure, have truly been unsure. So she seems to be like all over hot and cold with Debbie there. Hi, Carsonda. Good morning. So happy to see you here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, I'll save some thoughts I have till we're done with the letters. All right, so note 8. So can you believe this N-word had the fucking audacity to unsure to another bitch on my birthday? I really wish we knew what that unsure was, because I could not figure it out. Like, unbelievable. Like, I have never told her that shit bothers unsure. Never. What an asshole. I feel completely disgusted right now. I get nothing but lie after lie after lie after lie. What a waste. Took away my happiness so quickly. So selfish. He will never touch me again. I am so damn mad at him right now. Unsure. Now, do I make sure she scratched out won't touch me? Oh, that's right. I'm going to get drunk, high, smoke cigarettes, and then unsure, fuck off, jackpot. So she is pissed at Devier for something he sent to this girl. So I wonder when that would be on her birthday. Like, okay. Yikes. It is all crazy pants. It's all crazy. The sword makes sense now. She knows ninjas. Good one. All right. Number 9. Okay. Is that yes? All right. Boring? He doesn't like unsure. Who the fuck says that? The entire dynamics of our relationship has been altered. No wonder I feels like just sex now. That's all it is. That explains why he won't kiss me the way he barely puts any effort into anything. I am completely a cum bucket and nothing more than that. He is literally going to take all the passion I have for him and just throw it away. How should I have responded? So here it is, barely 8:17 p.m., and I am beyond bored, fed up, watching Devier play video games, unsure, straight. It is unsure. Yikes. There is certainly trouble in this paradise. You know, it's almost like when you date and then marry someone in their 20s, when you are significantly older than them, also your two children are their sisters, that you guys might not be on the same life and maturity level. It's almost like that. Oh boy, it's crazy pants. Okay, note 10. I could barely read this. Okay, I could barely make out what it says. So I did my best. There's a whole lot of unsures, but maybe somebody else can decipher it and we can fill it in later. So he, unsure, unsure, I, unsure, is unsure, unsure, be out, unsure. Ooh, this is a nice poem. He wants me, unsure, with the unsure. I misspelled some things. Sorry, guys. Stay away. He unsure, unsure. $20 says he unsure. So she's betting herself. So that's interesting. Unsure to unsure the unsure. Unsure last unsure. Unsure can't be unsure. Unsure the girls come down. Unsure, unsure to make noise and unsure. Should I be mad? His unsure because of his unsure, unsure. He unsure. He only unsure, bitch. Unsure, unsure. Last unsure was unsure. So you're welcome for that that poem. So hello, Teresia. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Wasn't that the name of Plankton's restaurant? Buffy says sometimes it's like that even when they're the same age. That's true. Facts. Also true. All right. So I'm unsure. I'm unsure if it heard you right. Unsure. Buff says we need to run this through AI, see what kind of ad libs it comes up with to fill in the blanks. Oh, that's a fantastic and fun idea. All right, maybe we'll save that and we'll do an ad libs later. So that's a great idea. All right, so let's see. That's that one. Oh, so I think this is a continuation of this unsure letter. This one, though, looks more easy to read there. Him, he takes unsure now, but has yet to come back with money. I don't even know what I should say that hasn't already been said. What kind of relationship is this supposed to be? There's been no intimacy since Sunday. The horror. Like, girl, you're fine. Of course, that was the same day he say he didn't like unsure. Let me stop thinking about him. It is just a really bad feeling alone because he's a 200 baby with friends. 200 baby with friends. Okay. Oh, you're getting snow too, Teresia. Oh my goodness. Everybody's getting snow. Oh, it's cold. I might have to. It is kind of chilly out here in my living room. That I'm out here. My feeties are a little cold. All right. Note 12. What time is it? Let me just refresh this court TV just so, because sometimes you'll have it up and then it already starts and it has not started. Okay, let me do that there. All right, note 12. Welcome to the world of unsure. Willette, unsure. He spent the whole damn day by himself again. Same shit he unsure last weekend. Why put up with this? Unsure, supposed to pretend this shit doesn't bother me or that unsure happening? He knows John spent hours away from the families and didn't participate with anything. Now he is doing the exact same thing. Oh, girl. I have unsure much to lose, and I unsure not willing to waste time. Unsure he shows his lack of interest. What does he have in his world that is so fucking great that he unsure completely ignore me the way he unsure? 3 weekends in a unsure to unsure this solitude unsure. Unsure. I might as well be alone, unsure when he wants to. Continuation. The unsure. I can unsure trust him. I am sitting unsure all this shit. Unsure, unsure. A deliberate unsure. Lack of interest. Unsure. Should unsure points. He is going to do something that unsure going to prevent the girls from coming back. He doesn't seem to want to be around when they are here. Again, probably because he doesn't feel like raising his sisters, though. I'm just saying. She seems very unsure of herself. I don't think I've said the word unsure that many times in like my whole life. Okay, note 14. We're almost done. Power through these because it should be starting anytime now. Note 14. What is the purpose of my life? Do unsure. Why am I here? I already know I will spend the whole unsure alone with my girls. Unsure that it is just time with me. Why does he always choose not to participate? Surely he remembers unsure. I think John did the same thing, which basically unsure to him. So why make the same mistake? 3 weekends in a row, this unsure has not interacted with me. 3 weekends in a row, unsure has stayed in a different room. 3 weekends in a row, this person has barely said 3 sentences to me. 3 strikes, you're out. Out. More continuation. This unsure thing you can do is the same shit you know I hate. The same shit to make me not want to be with someone else. Now he has slept all fucking day. Woke up to ask me if I was going out. WTF. Now that he's unsure, am I unsure to have to hear him? Unsure. All might. This isn't fair. Unsure night is going to be unsure because he's unsure wide awake. How many ways can you tell? Oh, so many unsures, guys. I did my best. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Savage. It sounds to me like he doesn't want to play house. He's overplaying house. He's a 20-year-old man. Okay? And listen, I would say that, oh, you know what? He's being kind of a shitbag, except we know the history of their relationship. And I have questions about it. So, hello. Good morning, Dave. Welcome. I hope you're feeling well or unsure. You know, whichever. All right. Note 16. Unsure who unsure. Unsure. He can unsure his unsure. I unsure. Not want this anymore. I don't need your kind of love. I don't need your unsure. I don't want you anymore. I don't need your unsure kisses. I don't want to be your unsure. I don't want you anymore. He just is not the unsure. I just need to be alone. I'm tired of being let down, lied to, ignored, and mistreated. My heart has zero value to him, and it shows. Okay. Letter 18. This is the end of that page. I will be okay. I am strong. I have been alone many times for many years. I don't need a man. And to be honest, every time I do end up trying to be in a relationship, I start to fail. Never again. Well, Devyn, your choice of partners is not great, considering we know a little bit about all of them. And I think you don't choose the right people. This is a continuation of that. He can't use the other bathroom. When a person willingly acknowledges that you're unsure, but still believes they should do the bare minimum to fix it, they are afraid and just don't care. Letter 18. Is this the last one? Oh, this is the last one. I thought so. Broken heart again. Another lesson learned. Never give your heart because all you get is unsure. Every time I try, all I do is cry and say goodbye. No more pains, no more pains. No more games, no more games. No more drama in my life. I don't ever want to hurt again. No, I think that's I think she quoted the Mary J. Blige song. Isn't that who sings that? No more drama. I can't sing that song. I don't really know how it goes, but that one, that's the one I'm thinking of. No more drama. Something like that. Why I play the fool. Who I play, the clown, while knowing all the time you wouldn't be around. Constantly causing me stress because you were young and unsure. Could have just said unsure. Instead, I'm on a TC. It's supposed to be TV. That is a typo on my part. I'm on a TV unsure. Well, she's definitely on TV now. So, wait a second. Court has already started, but for some reason, Court TV is not playing the video. So, in a momento. It just started a couple of minutes ago. I don't know why Court TV doesn't have. Whatever. That's fine. That timed up perfectly for us. So yay us. Oh, and they have subtitles, so that's good. That's why I switched, because they usually don't. We'll get rid of that. So we'll be a few minutes behind, but that's okay. That's not helpful. There we go. And we put you back up. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Very noisy, the courtroom is. Okay.
Please be seated. Your Honor, the jury's all present and accounted for.
For some reason, you're feeling a little.
We're going to go back on the record and see 377239 Katie versus Devyn Michaels. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the weekend. We are going to resume the testimony of the detective. Ben, I just haven't said that be sworn again since the weekend has passed.
Sorry, I'm trying to move these, but. I mean, he was what, maybe 25, 26?
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, ma'am. Friday, we were short on time, so we rushed through a bit of things, and I want to review a couple things with you, okay? So you had previously indicated that you arrived at the scene with Dennis Ozawa, is that correct?
You did there, Dave.
When you arrived on scene, did you interview anyone at Paladura?
We did.
Who did you interview at Paladura?
That's going to keep going.
Okay.
So,
In addition, did you speak with the children there, or was that over at the Porcupine Rim scene? Okay, so let's move forward to the Porcupine Rim scene. When you arrive at that scene, what do you observe?
When Detective Ozawa and I arrived on scene, we observed Devyn Michaels going between the house and her vehicle.
Oh, thank you, Juju. I appreciate that. Thank you.
One child kind of playing around in the yard.
Okay. Did you notice anything at the Porcupine Rim scene as you arrived other than Devyn Michaels?
I did. As we walked up the driveway of the residence,
It's not good.
off to the
Makes you look
side,
crazy.
which would be near the opening of the garage door, there was a black cell phone.
Okay. And when you say off to the side, do you mean actually on the driveway?
It was on the road.
And which side of the Nissan Armada was it?
It would be to the left.
Okay. So the driver's side.
Correct.
When you observe the cell phone on the driveway, on the driver's side of the Armada, do you immediately go grab it, or what are you thinking at that time?
No, at that point, we made note of it. That is something that we're going to want to include in our search warrant. So at that time, we're leaving that so that we can collect it in a way that we can have it forensically analyzed later.
Okay. And I would presume at that point, when you see it from a distance, you don't realize there's blood on it.
Correct.
But you're noting it, you're not telling the defendant about it, you're just, okay, that's noted, and you move on.
Yes.
And you indicated previously that you had an opportunity to speak with the girls, the young girls, is that right?
Yes.
And they indicated to you that the Devier had been home with them last night.
That's correct.
We went through the first interview in the beginning of your testimony, you recall that?
Yes.
And also, I called it the first interview. This is actually the second interview conducted by detectives, but the first that you were involved.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, but how were you approaching this second interview when you first go in? What's your mindset?
Sure. So whenever we're contacting someone for the first time, we try to use a free format. We will ask them questions and allow them to give us a narrative in their own words. They're explaining the situation, the story, all of the things that they want to organically just tell us. And then we may ask a couple follow-up clarifying questions and sometimes repeat back to them what they told us so that we can feel comfortable that we understand what they're trying to tell us.
And you are aware that there was an interview conducted with the defendant prior to your involvement?
Yes.
And this second interview, your first,
Yes.
was that investigative type, open-ended, like, hey, give us any information you deem relevant kind of thing?
Correct.
And just to briefly summarize, there was some discussion about, in that second interview, your first, the day before, shopping for school supplies, the defendant acknowledged she had been with the victim, and then she said he was alive and well in the garage when she left. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, during the course of this first interview you're involved in, we heard a little girl's voice approach. Is that correct?
It is.
Describe that, what happened, and what that meant to you.
So while we were interviewing Miss Michaels, we are engaged in our conversation. To be honest with you, I'm not sure which of the daughters, their names I still get mixed up. She had approached the window and she has the cell phone that we believe is the one we previously saw on the driveway. And she says, "Mommy, here's Daddy's cell phone. That's why he didn't answer." There was a physical reaction from from Devyn, and she takes the phone, she hands it to us, and she made a comment, "This should help you." And then that's pretty much changed the tone a little bit to casual conversations to then it became a little bit more flustered.
Okay. And is it at that point where you noticed the blood on the phone?
Correct.
And I would imagine that's important for an investigator.
Very much so.
You, I believe, previously indicated that after that first interview, a search warrant is authored and conducted on the home and the vehicles outside the home at Porcupine Rim.
I agree. It makes
Yes.
you look crazy.
During the course of that, we know the wallet with the current ID is found. It's tied in several bags in the defendant's underwear drawer, and it's kind of tucked away. Is that right?
Yes.
And then within that same bag is the truck keys.
Yes.
The social security card was found, but that was in her purse, not hidden away with the other stuff.
Right.
We were about halfway through that second interview when we had to break on Friday. And so just describe for us how you're approaching this second interview differently, knowing what you know about the blood on the phone and the items found in the home.
Sure. So as I mentioned, the first interview is going to be more of a format that allows the subject to give us their narrative, their truth, what they want to tell us. The second interview, we've now discovered some evidence inside the home. There's some things that we need to confront her with. So the tempo of the interview, the tone changes. It becomes a little bit more direct. Okay, you said that this happened, but now we have this. For instance, the wallet. We didn't know about the wallet. That wasn't brought up in the first interview. So now we are going to be targeting her, asking direct questions, and it can be accusatory in nature.
Also, remember she said
And
that
so
she
we
was
left off
drinking,
at
but she was
36:55, but just
toxicology.
because we were really cutting it close, I want to start back at about 30 minutes of that interview and then resume. I may pause it a couple of times and ask you some questions, okay? May I, Judge?
she's one of the lead detectives on the case.
Remind us what your unit this is.
6:20, Your Honor.
Hopefully this is better than Friday.
I don't know, like I have all of his old driver's license, I had all of his old stuff.
Okay, and then a whole wallet with the driver's license? How many do you think you have?
I think I have 2 of his licenses.
And then are they both in wallets or
Yeah, and we have an old one of Devyn's as well.
in separate wallets?
No, just in separate places.
Okay, where was those other ones? Like the ones for Johnathan? Where did you keep those at?
The one drawer in Devyn's in a different drawer.
Which drawer?
One's in like my drawer with like some doorknobs and stuff, and then the other one's in a nightstand or on the other side.
Oh, okay. And you think you have a couple of his driver's license?
I know I do, and I have them on my phone too.
Oh, maybe. And why does he give you those, or why do you have them?
I don't know how it sounds, but he literally said, hold on to this because it's important. He literally said that.
About what?
Like the social and everything. And I have the EBT card, and you could see it at the gas station. He handed me the EBT card and said, this is the code. And then he gave me the other one.
What was
I
that?
don't know, but I'm gonna need to.
Why did he say that?
Because he's telling me to do things, and you're asking me about it. And
Well, I know you're explaining it, that's why.
I mean, you can see at the gas station, he hands me the card and says, hold on to this in case you need something. Like,
And
it's,
that's the EBT card?
yes, sir. And it's at the gas station. You can see him hand it to me.
The ARCO.
And, no, and not the ARCO. There's another gas station on the Pecos one where we stopped. And I think, yeah, because he gave me the card and then he went outside to smoke a cigarette. But it's on the security camera. You can see him hand it to me.
Do you know which gas station?
I don't know the name of it. It's by the Burger King.
Burger King, you know, like,
It's off the Pecos and Windmill. It's like right there. You can
Pecos Windmill, Burger King.
There's a gas station right there. He was talking about the man that works there. He parks right.
Like on the corner?
He was telling me about the man that works there, and he sleeps in his car and everything like that.
What time do you think that was at?
That was after we unloaded everything. We went right there, and I got a Monster drink, and I don't remember what he got.
So right after you left,
When we got back to his side of town.
so coming back is when you went to that gas station?
Yeah.
So, after, it'd be after 9 o'clock. And that's when he gave you his EBT card?
Yes, you can see him hand it to me, and he walks out the door.
So that's near his place. You said Pecos and Windmill? The Burger King?
Yes, sir. Like,
So detective, we're now talking about kind of the social security card, the wallet. There's an EBT card that's referenced, is that correct?
Yes.
Before we move on, I want to ask you about an exchange that was a bit earlier in the interview, but would be duplicative for me to play again. Earlier on in the interview, you had confronted the defendant about the bloody phone, correct?
Yes.
And what was her general response with regard to that?
As far as the acknowledgement of the phone,
Yes.
she was surprised about the phone being at the residence.
Okay.
And it really threw her off when her daughter handed her the phone, and it changed the tone. of
Yeah.
our interview.
And she claimed she was surprised. You're not saying she actually
Yes.
was?
No,
Okay.
she appeared to be very surprised.
Okay. And you had asked, and I'm simplifying, you had asked something to the effect of, well, how does blood end up on the phone? Does he hurt himself or something like that? You remember that? Describe that exchange.
So once we have the phone in our possession, we do note, and also her child noted that there was apparent blood on the phone. That's of great concern, and of course we're going to address that at the time. Began asking Devyn some questions related to that. She mentioned that he had injured his hand, and I believe she specifically said he took a chunk, and he being Johnathan, out of his hand. Then went into great
Which is
detail,
not true.
which stood out to me because the entire interview there hadn't been any detail on anything. It was very generalities. There wasn't a lot of, it was like, I don't remember. But in this case, she went into extreme great detail about the table, how it folded, where it was in the garage, how he had hurt himself.
And to be fair to the defendant, I believe she said, John told me that he hurt himself. I didn't see it, but she knew it, or claims she knew what he hurt himself on and that it was a very large injury.
Correct. And in addition to that, she did not see any blood or injuries on John's hands.
And Detective, you've reviewed the autopsy photos in this case.
Yes, I have.
Were there any bleeding injuries to the victim's body other than his decapitation?
No.
We're going to resume the interview now.
He kept,
Because there's in 2 gas stations, there's a Chevron right there on the corner.
I think it's like a Charlo Hearst.
Okay, so it's over there, and then across Kennedy Corner from that gas station is another gas station. I think it's a Shell or something.
I'm not sure the other one, but
But it was next to the Burger King. Okay.
yeah, please check the security. You can see him, and you can see him telling me the code and everything. I don't know why he was giving me things, but he was telling me to hold on to him and keep him safe. And that's what I was doing.
That was the social security card, what about his driver's license?
I've always had his driver's license. He's
So
always,
what's not happening with that is that the driver's license found in the house is occurring, it's not.
but he just gave it to me.
I know, but he would need that for work. That's
He
why
has
I'm asking
another
you
one.
to said that he gave you an old one, you had it in the drawer.
Well, no, he's given me old ones before. I have multiple ones. So you can look around the house. There's more than one.
Okay, and if this one's expired in 2025, that's gonna be his newest one. And it's weird that you have his latest driver's license, and that it was tucked in a drawer.
Yeah, I put it away to keep it safe. It should be wrapped in like a whole bunch of bags, right?
Okay, did you understand that?
I understand, but I also have social security. I understand, and that's why I'm like, it's just getting weirder and weirder. It's like I'm doing things to help, and it's not helping me. I got it.
Well, yeah,
It's
it's
that same thing at
being
a
able to
sentencing
explain
hearing.
some of the stuff, that's all we need is
I'm
explanation.
trying to explain it, but the more I'm talking, the more it just sounds really stupid. And
Especially a driver's license, that doesn't need to really be kept safe. But
No.
no, social security card or birth certificate, I completely understand. Especially if somebody is in transition in their life and are wanting to find a new place to live and want your work.
but I don't know what else was in it. It was just a lot of things.
Okay. But it wasn't his wallet, he didn't hand his wallet over to you.
No, it was a lot of things. Like it was like a square thing he handed to me, and then a black bun. What are those called?
But not his wallet. You know what his wallet looks like, you saw him pull it out for
Yeah.
instance. So he had his,
So Detective, you're now confronting the defendant with regard to the wallet and all that was found in the plastic bags.
Correct.
Those were sealed when they were found, correct?
They were.
So let's step back a moment to the phone, because they kind of tie together. She is not telling you that the phone is part of this chunk of items that John allegedly gave her in this bag, correct?
Correct.
Okay. With regard to the victim's phone, did you ultimately learn that was in fact his blood and DNA, the victim's, on that phone?
Yes, I did.
No,
Did you,
Juju, who's never arrested.
ultimately learn
And
from
prosecution says they don't
other
believe his
sources,
blood.
not the defendant, but other sources, when John's phone was last at his home and when it left?
Yes, so one of my partners had authored a search warrant for Google. We had also done some call data records as well, but the Google itself came in quite a bit later. So this is something that we found out after the crime, obviously, and after all the interviews had been settled. But we noted that the return showed that John's phone was at the home on Paladura, which is where he resides, from 10 o'clock till it began to travel or move at about 2:04 a.m.
And what else traveled or moved at 2:04 a.m.?
So I'm not sure exactly what's been testified to yet, but at 2:04 is when it's alleged that Devyn left the home. She traveled. We have her cell phone or CDR records, as well as the Burla, which I'm not sure if that's been testified to. That is the infotainment system that we authored a search warrant on. It shows those three devices together in a companion movement all the way back to Porcupine Rim.
So 3 devices, meaning the Nissan itself, the defendant's cell phone, and the victim's cell phone as well.
That's correct.
Based upon the fact that there is blood on the cell phone and all of that you just testified, what did you deduce about our timeline of homicide?
Well, after having the information from the autopsy, which was there was no bloodletting injuries short of his obvious cause of death, which was the decapitation, there was no reason there should have been blood on that cell phone because any bloodletting would have been after the homicide. So for the phone to arrive and be discovered at Porcupine Rim with blood on it indicated to me that that is something that was on the phone before it left that house.
At 2:04 a.m.
Correct.
And therefore, did you narrow down the bloodletting to between 10 p.m. on the 6th and 2:04 a.m. on the 7th?
Yes, sir.
We're going to resume the interview.
So when we find his wallet, he's gonna have his driver's license and his cards. There's some driver's license. But not, he didn't give it.
I always, when John and I were together, I had everything. He had me hold on to it so he wouldn't spend money needlessly and things like that. Like he's like, hold on to this. And
Yeah, but you guys don't have a relationship right now.
we actually were.
So you're closer than we thought.
Yes. I would.
Are you?
He asked me to marry him yesterday.
Okay.
Does that make
It seems to know your relationship you had mentioned was getting reconnected, but that's more romantic.
Right, and you can ask the girls, that he told the girls we were gonna get back married, and they were gonna be the flower girls and stuff like that. He was trying to get back together, and I was helping him break all of these little bad habits that he was doing.
So then he gives you the EBT card for one of the girls. Where's the other one for?
I have 2 EBT cards.
Do you have both girls' EBT cards now?
No, they're not the girls' EBTs. He said one was Andrea's, and the code,
Oh, so you're using Android.
he gave me hers. I haven't used it. He gave me hers at the gas station. And then he has the other one that he got.
Okay. Where's that EBT card now?
They're both in my purse.
Okay. You know you can't have that, right?
Yes, but I know he gave them to me.
That doesn't make it right.
No, but I can't use them, but I understand, but you can see he handed it to me.
Okay. You're not understanding that you can't do that. So.
No, I know I can't use them. I don't believe he can use it because it's Andrea's and not his.
Right. Is Andrea mad that you have the EBT card? Did you get it? Because she's got it now, that's her money.
No, he said that she gave it to him because she can't use it in the state that she's in.
So he was just using it to fill his away for money.
That's what he said. He said, but at any moment she can cancel it.
Yeah, but she wasn't. So he wants to marry you. He's telling the girls to be flower girls, yet you're still wearing a ring, and so is Dev.
This ring I bought on my own from Macy's. It has nothing. No, this wasn't a simple
You just told
purple.
me that it was a symbol.
I said-
You have a best friend connection with Dev.
We do have a
He wears a
connection.
wedding ring too, and that's something that is a respectful thing, part of your marriage.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me that you and your ex were talking about getting married.
No.
You just took a ring off last night from another female and threw it away. But yet
You're taking what I'm saying with your-
not. It's fact, it's what you said.
No, I understand that's what I said, but that's not exactly the situation. You're taking it and,
Okay,
so let me,
here's what you told us so far. Your ex needs a place to stay.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
he's trying to get out of his mother's house.
yes, no.
You were kind enough to allow him to move into the house with you, your current husband, which is your best friend, and your 2 girls, which the girls just moved back in in May.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you guys are trying to make it a family. You were saying that he was supposed to like slowly move in, that things were progressing slowly. Now you're telling me that he's wanting to marry you. He mentioned that yesterday. He even talked to the kids about it, and that your relationship has now progressed past just slowly kind of
No, ma'am, you're misunderstanding. He has mentioned getting married in front of the girls. Our relationship is not rekindling on physical level or romantic level, but we are trying to reconnect and have a family for the girls. Yes, he has said we should get married, and he's saying it more, for my opinion, on a joking thing, but he has said that in front of the girls. That was not said yesterday. Okay?
When was that said in front of the girls?
I would say over a month ago.
Okay, and what did you say in return in front of the girls?
I didn't say anything, I just looked at him and rolled my eyes.
So are the girls, when I talk to them, and say that they don't think you guys are getting married?
Oh yeah, they'll tell you that.
That you guys are not getting back together?
No, because at one point I was telling him I didn't think it would be a good idea for him to be here, and it would be too hectic. So they will definitely tell you I was not trying to marry him.
Did you say anything to Deb about it?
Oh yeah, I've told him that John keeps trying to say he wants to, get back together. And
You're
I told him,
telling him now?
yes ma'am.
Okay, and then him moving in now was just a platonic friendly relationship?
It's not a, yes.
Where was
Basically.
he gonna sleep in the house?
I was gonna clear out the sewing room that's up there. He said he wanted the loft because it was the cooler place, but I was gonna give him the sewing room because there is more than enough room.
I didn't know about that either.
Sometimes, or he does sleep on the bed, like I said, when we watch movies and he knocks out within minutes.
And then have you guys ever had a sexual relationship?
Yeah, we had.
Okay, but
And
it's not there now?
no, I can't even have sex now.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to have sex.
I understand, but no.
Okay, so you guys have no connection that way at all?
No.
Okay. Because that would complicate it a lot. Having your ex with him, but it's not that you're still in a relationship.
I understand.
Okay.
You can have all my medical records and everything like that. I have to take hormones just to,
I understand. But like I said, there's a lot of different ways to have sex. It doesn't have to be penetration. There's a lot of things that a couple can do.
Like, yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
So much changed.
Bit of a film.
Well, not to be crass with you, but I need to be direct with you. And you can give a male a hand job. And that gives you a connection with that person in a sexual way. That gives it a relationship. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Ice
There's a
morning.
lot of different things that you can do for a male that you're connected with.
if you ever see the thing that we're not like that.
I'm just trying to answer, get all the questions answered in the
I'm not-
relationship.
That's why you answer questions.
I mean, I'm cool with we got married for this.
Well, the house
The risk,
goes in,
that to me is a
pretty
lot.
expensive.
That's probably the most odd thing about it for me. Is that
It's just I like my ring.
But he's wearing a ring, so he's wearing a wedding ring.
He wears a lot of rings though,
He's wearing a wedding ring.
but he does wear more than one ring though. So, and he's bought them for himself.
Sure. I got my ring.
No, I mean, but I didn't buy them for them to be symbolic. He's bought his own rings to wear.
And where did you guys get married? You guys are married.
What was that? The flamingo thing?
So you guys had a ceremony with the forehouse.
Yeah, it was free. I got a coupon thing, and that was cheaper.
Fine.
And you just did it out at a chapel and the flamingo.
Yeah, and there was the one witness, and that was it.
So you said that you guys have not, like, you and Devyn already have been in for a while. How long are we talking, like?
Years since he's been back.
What do you mean since he's been back?
He moved out of the state.
Devyn already says he's been living here for like the last 4 years.
Yeah, but he got moved out of the state. He lived in California, and then he moved back, lived with John, and then he came back this way.
Okay, so since he's been back, you guys have not?
No, sir. I stopped being physical probably in 2020 when I was having all my issues because I had surgery and just surgery.
Oh, before you got
Okay, but he was already living here.
He wasn't living with me.
Because he was telling me that he's lived here for like the last 4 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't living with me the whole time. He was living with John at Palladora.
This is happening
When I say living here, I thought he actually said that he's lived here at this house. How long have you lived at this house?
I've been here for 3 years.
And then when did he come back, I guess, to Nevada? I guess that was what we're saying.
I would say I've been here for 3 years, so at least 2 years ago.
And then prior to living here for 3 years, where were you staying before that?
Decatur and Marsh,
And then how long were you at that place?
less than 1 year.
And then prior to that place,
It was at Wild Magic,
where's that at?
89129.
Like what area though? Like major cross streets?
Craig and Tanea, right by where, close to where JC lives.
And then did your kids live with you at that time?
Yeah, they've always lived with me. They've only not lived with me for the short period of time of 9 months.
And going back to talking about the ID and stuff, you said it was, yeah, you had one that is in a bunch of bags in your drawer. When did he give you that?
Yesterday. With the IDs and the social security card.
And was that at the house that he gave that home to you?
Yes, sir.
So he handed you a bag yesterday. Do you remember what was in it?
No, he just handed it to me and I put it in the bags. Because I just wanted them out the way.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly what's in it. I didn't go through it.
So explain that part to me as far as like when he did that and what did you do? So like where are you guys at when he hands you like that sack of stuff?
In his room area, and he handed me the little square thing. He says, hold on to this, and he handed me the other thing because this is my social. He says, just keep it safe. And that's all I was going to do. So I wrapped it up, and I was going to put the social in the security box, and he just didn't have a chance to do it.
What else? Did he give you anything else?
He gave me his guns.
Anything else? Like there's a set of keys in that bag too.
The keys are from Andrea's stuff.
The set of keys that are in that bag. Like the bag
No, the
that,
keys are my keys.
where do those go to?
My car.
So you have
Detective, we're going to pause real briefly. Throughout the course of the investigation, did you learn that no spare set of Chevy keys for John's truck were ever discovered?
Yes.
In fact, after the defendant was arrested for the homicide, was there some communication with Yoko about returning the keys?
Yes.
And why was that?
a little bit.
There were no set of keys for John's truck found in the home or anywhere else after searching all the residences other than the keys that were in the bag.
And so you had to return those keys to her so she could do whatever she was going to do financially with the truck.
Correct.
bag that you put, plastic bag that you wrapped his ID in that he gave you, had a set of your keys in there?
I'm so lost.
I just wanted, like, when he handed you a bunch of stuff, he only gave you the wallet with the ID in it? Did he hand you anything else?
The social security card.
Okay, because in that bag that it was wrapped in, that you said you wrapped it in, there was also a set of vehicle keys in there.
I don't remember giving the keys.
Because I guess that's my question. Like, why would he give you? Why would he give you his wallets, social security card, which is like the scammer's asking, also, and then also a set of keys.
I don't remember the keys. I just know the wallet and the social security card.
And then you put that in a plastic bag while you were at that house.
I just grabbed everything and tied it and tied it and tied it and tied it.
As one
So
does.
the only thing he handed you, like, so I'm giving you this stuff. What exactly does he hand you?
I remember remember seeing a wallet, and it went like this. He dropped it in, and I just started tightening it away.
So it was just a wallet though?
That's all I remember seeing. I do not remember seeing keys, but he dropped it in the bag. Like I just took it and tied it away.
And was this in the garage?
No, sir, it was in his room.
Inside the room, in the house?
Yes, sir.
And was that before you guys went into the garage?
That was before we left. And then he also said, make sure the guns are safe. And we didn't take the ammo. So I carried on.
Detective, was this timeline that the defendant gave you notable?
It was.
And why is that?
Specifically, the keys being in the bag and the wallet. When they leave the Paladura residence, she'll indicate that they were in his truck and then drove back to his house, or back to her house on Porcupine Rim. However, the keys have been tied up in that bag because she indicates in her statement, I tied them, and that's exactly how we found them in the drawer.
And so we know based on not only the defendant's statements, but witnesses and technological evidence that it wasn't the Nissan Burla that they made the last trip to Porcupine Rim in and then returned to Paladura. It was the victim's truck.
That's correct.
And so she's saying the keys or whatever he put
Well,
into
back
the
to
plastic bag
Paladura.
that she tied up over and over and over were given before that last trip to Porcupine Rim.
Yes.
One of the guns, and he carried out a bow and like a crossbow looking thing, and another gun.
Okay, so that was before you left there, between 9 and 10?
No, that was like at 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
And we came this way.
And then what did you do with that belt stuff?
When I got here, I put it in the drawer, like just to keep it out of the way.
And then you guys drove back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he have keys to his truck?
Yes, sir, we drove his truck.
Do you remember where he put his keys to the truck? 'Cause we can't find his keys to the truck at his house.
They were on the table.
Which table?
The table that had like all this looking stuff and like the grinder and everything like that. All of that was sitting right there.
And his keys to the truck?
Yeah. The only keys I picked up were the ones that had the little thing on it that said Andrea, because Yoko said bring them to her and put them in the little thing. That's the only thing I picked up.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
So you don't know what keys are actually in that bag that you wrapped everything in?
No, sir. Like I said, he said keep the safe. I took the plastic bag and you dropped it in and I just started tying it up. And then he handed me the other thing, and I was just gonna put that into a safe.
This safe was just right there, by the way, in the bathroom.
Okay. So,
So,
like what we were saying is, a lot of the stuff now is like how you're saying you're talking it out loud and it just doesn't sound well.
I understand that, but you didn't know John. You didn't understand his mannerisms.
I know, but when we talked to you earlier, like these are the things when we were saying, like, hey, be descriptive as possible. Like, what were you guys doing? Like, you say you're packing, doing this, but like specifics, like stuff that's important. All that would have been really important for us to know.
I do apologize, but that's not things that were like kind of going through my head at the time. To remember is like, when you say this, it's like, okay, I remember this now. And you say something else, then I recall more information. I'm trying to remember as much as I possibly can for you.
Okay, because like how you said how it doesn't look well, I agree with you now because you have his social security card, you have his wallet and his ID. There's possibly a set of keys that looks like might be his truck keys in that bag.
Okay.
So.
But I'm sure he's got I got more than one key for my car.
Not keychains on it. Spare keys that don't have keychains on it.
Like it's not just like a key with a key fob. It's like, it looks like his personal set of keys.
Like I said, he put it in the bag. I just 3 bags around it, 3 or 4 bags. I'm not even sure.
And if you have a safe, why would you not just put them in a safe?
I haven't had a chance to.
A plastic bag.
But the keys,
Overall, it's so that you.
oh, it was just what we had right at the time. I hadn't been here to put it in the safe. The safe is here, but I just
The
hadn't had
bag was placed in a drawer. It takes 2 seconds to put something in a safe.
done it, and I wasn't trying to have Debbie or see it. That's all it was.
Why do you say that?
Because it would look odd that I'm holding on to John's things for John. But it's not the same. It's like if you're doing more for one person, I don't want him to feel like there's more there than what it was. John was only coming in as a temporary thing until he can get something else, because like I said, he was trying to file for bankruptcy. Yoko was about to kick him out. Yoko even said she was trying to kick him out.
Okay. So you, I mean, tell us about the bankruptcy before. That he was doing well with the money.
I did mention bankruptcy before.
I don't remember that.
Did I tell you, or the, yeah, I mentioned it.
Otherwise,
I most definitely did.
understand inside the house when you guys are here.
Because,
He told his mom he was gonna file for bankruptcy.
yeah, gambling, I don't want to see how an issue with gambling.
I said, no.
Where does he usually play?
Well, when we lived together, you go to the Santa Fe.
That's like say or something together.
That's when we lived together. I don't know what his spot would be now.
You don't know where he would go living with the legal go.
Probably the Green Valley is the closest one.
Let's get a base rent.
He said he was.
How much was he gonna pay?
He claimed he was going to try to do 1,100. He claimed he was going to be able to do that.
And is that text message or conversations you guys had on the phone?
Probably both. You might be able to find a text message on it. It was definitely where he understood it was not going to be him freeloading or anything like that. He had to pay to stay here.
And then we go through the phone. We're gonna have our computer guys. They can go through apps, they can go through anything deleted, all that stuff. Are they gonna find anything that we're gonna turn back and talk to you about that your current husband doesn't know about, relationship-wise, conversations,
With John?
intimate conversations, pictures?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So it's just platonic conversations.
For the girls.
So they went wrong back.
They wanted him because they love their dad.
Knows best. We know it's wrong.
And I was told when I went, John has physical custody of the girls. They're supposed to live with him.
So is that why?
So as long as I keep him close to me,
Okay. Well, then just tell me that's the motivation.
that is definitely, if I keep him close and make him happy and everything like that, I got to see my girls.
I can understand that.
So it's just so my girls love him, they want to spend time with their dad. I need to be around my girls.
Hopefully he pays the rent. Does that pay for the rent too, or the mortgage?
He pays like 1,100 every month too.
Okay. And then are you working?
Yes, no, I do real estate.
Okay.
That's
Clearly you've been sick though.
Because me, I'm in for almost a full year, I wasn't making any money. So I went through my savings, I had to take my stocks out just recently to get things caught up. Yeah, I've been struggling, trying to get all of this back on track.
This was gonna help a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the motivation too, is keep the girls close, and then if you keep him close and happy, nobody will have contact with the girls, and he's gonna pay the other half of the mortgage.
I figured as long as I didn't rock the boat too much, he wasn't gonna get out of control, because I know what triggers him, and I wasn't gonna do that. I know even when he's yelling and everything, as long as I'm not trying to engage with it, he does calm down fairly quickly. And you can see it on the text messages.
Okay, so, like, going back to what Sam was saying, why are you, I know that you want to see your kids, but ultimately you have custody of the kids.
He has
Well, he has physical custody, but they've been staying with you. They're not staying with
because
him.
he's letting them stay with me.
Exactly. But why would you want to bring him here?
Because if you look at the text messages, when he gets mad, it's bring me the girls back. I want the girls back.
So he's threatening you about that stuff. So he's threatening you about the kids. Okay, so
Again, if I keep them happy and keep everything cool, the girls can stay with me. And they were supposed to be with me for the summer, but you'll see, oh, I miss the girls. I haven't seen the girls, so it's okay. I would drive to Henderson multiple times just so he could see the girls, and then we would drive back.
do you have any other phones?
No, sir. We have a house phone, a landline.
Yeah. Your purse said it was inside the house.
That phone is not connected.
What phone is that?
There's like extra phones that are my old phones. None of them are connected. The girls just use them to play video games.
That one was in your purse? You're saying one, and then that one's in your purse?
Yeah, there's one in my purse. Tamia was playing music on one of them earlier today. They're just old phones.
You can still use them to talk to people in apps, though, man.
So then right now, like you're saying, things just aren't adding up. Okay, I'm not saying that you actually did something to Johnathan, but I know, or I feel like right now you're not telling us everything. I feel like you know something, and that, like, either how it happened or who somebody involved with this. I feel like you're not giving us that information. So, just, we've done this for a while, okay? We've been detectives for a while, okay? And just given everything that you told us and just kind of how everything happened, it's kind of sporadic, all right? I really don't want to beat around the bush at this point now, because before I was giving you the benefit of the doubt with everything, okay? But like I said, things just aren't adding up.
So I have decided that if I just be nice to him, I can get my girls. Because the court, when we went for custody, he didn't even show up. And the judge had us wait an extra hour to see if he was going to show up, just to give him the benefit of the doubt. And they still granted him physical custody. They denied his motion for sole custody, but they still granted him the physical custody of the girls. I have tried to do everything through the system. So right now, all I'm trying to do is make sure I just be nice and get my girls, because that, at the end of the day, was my goal. Just how my girls
Can I
go.
ask you a question about your custody? Just my prior experience is in the special victim unit, so I'm very familiar with family courts, very familiar with CPS cases and how powerful they are, one way or another. It's very, very unusual for a father to get primary physical custody. So,
She told me that day, and you can talk to the victim again, that my girls were going to be home that day. I told her I'll do the custody class, not custody classes, the counseling, which I'm still doing, and you can talk to her.
I'm sure.
I did the parenting classes.
so they took their kids away.
Yes, ma'am. But they said that you have to do this, you have to do, and I did everything.
Usually it's temporary.
And they didn't. They still granted him, yes, now you can look it all up. Even my therapist, everybody that has been involved in this case say it didn't make any sense. I had,
Where are all your firearms in the house?
there's one in the drawer and there's one upstairs.
Where's the one upstairs? Let's start with
It's in the safe, in the bathroom, over in the girls.
that.
A safe,
Okay, and then, is that a 9mm or 40? Do you know
a
how?
9
Okay, and then the one downstairs, where's that?
in the drawer, and it's a 9.
Okay. And then are those you work with firearms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you fired those recently?
No, ma'am.
Not since?
No, we go to the gun range just for
fun.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's good. I don't know that.
Yes, ma'am. It is, and my
Judge.
the lady, I don't know what happened. It's like I don't know now. I don't know how all this works. Like you can't all of a sudden get slammed with all this stuff. So I know it looks weird, but I'm just playing nice to keep my girls. So I'm just trying to not create waves. So John says, I need you to do something, I do it. As simple as that. I'm not trying to look stupid in front of you guys, but
Does he hold that over your head?
yes,
Like, does he threaten you
yes,
with the kids?
yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff does he say?
Is if I'm not, hey, I need you to do this, if I'm not, it's never been like a sexual thing. I mean, he did at it, but it's always if you're not anything, I need this help, I need this help. I used to give him gas money every time I went down there. I used to have to buy his beers and his cigarettes because the EBT doesn't cover it. And the girls would even tell you I was always buying him something. You can look at the gas station records. Every time we went in, he would, hey, I need this, this, and this, and I would be the one paying for it.
Well, the motive.
I just
is-
don't want profit.
Is that how he got you to agree for him to come here?
Yes. And it's just like, to keep my girls close.
What did he tell you?
That it's not what he told me, it's just, I know.
What did he say? Like when he said,
We should be a family, we should be a family, because the girls would want us together.
did he threaten you to say, let him move in?
It wasn't a threat, it was more of a, well, if you don't want to do this, then I'll stay with Andrea, we'll have her, because he told me straight, he already moved on with his life and everything like that. And him and Andrea were supposed to get married, and I wasn't going to be in the picture anymore. And I can't be without my girls.
Did he say he was going to take the girls to where it wasn't correct?
No, they weren't moving anywhere, but it was just, I wasn't going to really have my time with them like I do now. So I know I seem very easy to push over, but it's not. It's just,
Well, it's a cycle. Obviously, he's been using your kids against you and getting in his way for stuff, and
on one of the things I want to say was like the 4th of July, Nene put something in the microwave and it like kind of started sparking like a metal thing, and he started screaming, fire, 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 fire. So I'm trying to get the girls out, and he's yelling at them to sit down, and he's cussing out his mom, cussing at me. And I'm just trying to get the kids out of the house, thinking there's a fire, and he immediately, pack their bags, spray on back, we're not doing this. So,
was that here or all over?
in Henderson, you ask Uncle, she'll tell you. That's how he is.
So, I mean, when I tell you that I told you earlier that I think that you're not telling us everything, that there's something that you know that you're leaving out, and then you go into this big explanation about this is what's happening, this is what's going on. I love my girls. He uses that against me, and you kind of go into that brief explanation. So you never really got into that other part to it. Okay, so you just kind of get the explanation, which I understand completely now. Like you're painting a different picture about what's been going on. Like all this stuff you're telling us now is not anywhere near what you were explaining to us earlier. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to speak ill of anyone, and I'm not
Well,
trying to make myself sound.
It's not speaking ill, it's just trying to explain the situation and where you're at with him in your explanation. I mean, now it's a little bit more clear that he obviously uses your kids against you. You love your kids. We all love our kids. And I agree with you as far as like, I would do anything for my child, right? Like you said.
So it's not that I'm trying to bring him in because I'm in love with him or anything like that.
No, you're trying to make, but here's where what I'm saying is, I don't think him coming here isn't something that you really agreed to. It was something that he kind of forced it upon you.
He made it clear that it would be better for the girls, just like the puppies. We need to bring the puppies. The girls love the puppies. And
Right? So that to me, when we're looking at everything here, would say, hey, well, he needs to get out of the picture, right? So that's why I'm asking. I don't think you did anything to him yourself, okay? But I do believe that you know what happened to him.
Detective, during the course of interviews, when you're speaking with a potential suspect or person of interest, or however you want to say it, are there times in which you will change the tone and kind of minimize someone's involvement?
Absolutely.
So just so everyone understands, when you or Ozawa are saying, I don't believe you did it, that's part of your interviewing technique, correct?
Correct.
You're not saying that's what you actually.
No, it's a way of keeping the dialogue going, of showing some sort of like sympathizing, comments. If you're giving that to them, they're feeling that they're heard and they're believed, and they will continue to speak with us.
Okay.
It's who did something. So that's what, hold on. So this is the time right now that would be a good time for you to kind of explain what you know about what happened. Because as we go on further, and when we leave here, and you say, I have no idea, there's no clue, I don't know anything about what happened, and then we find out later, that obviously looks worse on you, correct?
I understand.
Okay, so like I was saying before, now is the time that it would be incumbent upon you to say, hey, okay, this is what I know. Okay, like I said, I don't believe you actually did anything to him, but I do believe that you know what happened to him. Okay?
John was like this with everybody, so I don't know if he got into anything with anyone else, but for me, this is how he was. For Yoko, this is how he was. I'm pretty sure he was like that with Andrea. I don't know if he could be with any other person where he's like doing this. You would have to look at his phone. But you can look on the messages. It was always a back and forth like this almost every single day. I would get a message and it would be a very aggressive, I hate this, you're not doing this. And by the time the date was halfway through, it would be I'm sorry and everything like that. This was almost daily.
Like I said, I get that. Like, I understand what you're explaining as far as how he is. Okay.
Also, I just saw the mouse in my house, you guys, and I am not okay.
1978.
So, but like I said, I understand how you're explaining him and how he is. Okay. But like I said, I still feel like you know more than what you're telling us.
So just to wrap up a little bit, obviously we grabbed the phone that was on the driveway. We'll process that. Thank you for the iPad. That's what iPad.
The girls found that. They said that's what, so I didn't know anything about that.
Okay, we got that. Is there any reason why John's blood or anything DNA related will be in your vehicle? Because that got towed back to our station, our CSA, they're gonna thoroughly look for everything in that vehicle.
I couldn't tell you. If he was bleeding from when he was doing the thing, he helped load up the truck. So if he was bleeding,
In the truck or your mama?
my Armada,
Okay.
like, he was putting the things in the car, like anything that
Sure,
would be
but there's
heavy.
gonna be obvious areas where blood doesn't belong even if you're loading. So I'm just asking you directly, because if we do find any DNA evidence in that vehicle, obviously we wanna make sure we asked you if there would be a reason.
No, the only thing I knew he said was his hand that he hit on the table. That's the only time he ever said he was bleeding, and he said it got a pretty good gash.
Okay, but you didn't see that.
No, I did not, so I can't really speak on it. But he was still loading everything up, so I don't think it was really bothering him that much.
And then just to confirm, you don't know how his phone got there on the driveway.
No, I know he was smoking, and when I went back over there and I said, girls, where did you find this? They pointed to it. There is cigarette butts there. So I don't know if he was just smoking and put it down and just didn't pick it back up, but you can take those and I'm sure it'll be his.
When you guys unloaded everything, how long did that take?
30 minutes, he was bragging, saying that, yeah, I can always do this as quick as can be, but he tries to stretch things out because he charges by the hour. I remember having that conversation.
And when you guys left Paladura to come back here, or when you left that night, or this morning, which way did you go? Like as far as like when you left Paladura, like it?
I headed up towards the Durango area to get the medication.
When you left that neighborhood, did you go straight out to Pecos Bar and Window? Or did you go to Pecos?
No window.
You went out the one exit to get out the window right there, right by the school?
Yeah.
And then normally do you guys come this way when you're coming to your house?
It just depends, like if the 15 is kind of backed up, I will take like the 215 and go around, or the Decatur is really just
Happening
depends on the
in
time
their
of day.
vehicle.
Go in different directions.
So I think it's just audio only. There's no video.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good question. So Sana.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, that you're telling us everything is the truth. So I will give you a call, or like I said, we'll have your phone. We're gonna get that downloaded, the circle with that too.
Okay.
And then I'll call Devyn tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just call Dev.
I'll call Dev tomorrow, and then try to figure out a time. But he has to work those tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. Sorry, that's a great problem.
I know, sorry. I need a phone number to reach you for returning your phone.
I know you have my phone.
Yeah, so you said you have a landline, is that something?
I do not know it. It's,
Should we call Dev's phone then?
yeah.
I don't know the phone already that he.
Well, you just told me to pick it up around 11.
Well,
No, you just have the address, so I don't even have the address anymore.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Because you wrote it on the paper and I handed it back to you.
Yep. Let me give that to you, and then if you want to just come by tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, it's being productive, Liz. Love that for you.
You have that card, right?
Yes.
So the address is on the card. 223 West Street. That's where you need to go.
No, the card is in my car.
And then I'll get that back to you. So maybe I'd say 1 o'clock tomorrow. Come by the station 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully everything will be done.
Okay.
So if you can figure out how to get right down there, I can try to get everything done for you.
Okay.
Okay, and if it's not, at least I hope I can just get you the phone back.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like I said,
And then,
if there is, I don't think there's
A lot of that, because I don't think he was bleeding a lot. 'Cause I didn't see it, but I do know he did mention it.
so it is 9:25, and that's the end of the interview.
And Detective, it sounded toward the very end there like the plan was to release Miss Michaels and go about your investigation.
Correct.
And fair to say that there was a pretty substantial amount of digital and forensic investigation that occurred after that interview we
Yes,
just heard.
absolutely.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, before we get across the woods, we're gonna take a brief recess. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a brief recess. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including passengers or any way regarding this key to its merit, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. You must not read, watch, listen, news, or media accounts or commentary about this case. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using reference material. You must not make any investigation, testify the case, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or look on the case on your own, and you must not form or express any opinion regarding this case until it's finally submitted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:10, we'll be in recess till 10:25. All rise for the jury.
All right, so 15-minute break. Well, they're going on break. We're going to go on break 2. First of all, if you guys hear me yell and scream, it's because I just saw the mouse again. that I saw the other week when I was doing Mama Learns About. We still have not caught it. And I saw it. It was awful. And I'm by myself. I'm scared. I don't do mice, you guys. I don't do them. Anywho, so those conversations were interesting. They don't make a whole lot of sense, Devyn, but I think we learn. Yes, a mouse. Yes. All right. It's no, Terry. No, you come and catch the mouse. I don't like them. Actually, I have my feet propped up and everything because now my floor is lava for like 2 days. Anywho, so let's talk about the conversations we just heard that Devyn gave to the police. A lot of what she says about the whole IDs thing just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, why was she like, oh yeah, I was just going to keep ahead of this or keep a hold of this stuff, and I was going to put it in the safe, but I hadn't gotten around to it yet. It makes no sense whatsoever. The way she talks about John and their relationship and custody issues, I'll say this. I think the interview made a possible motive more clearer of why she could have allegedly done this, though it doesn't explain the whole head thing. But it did sound from her perspective. Now, clearly she lies about some things, so we can only take, so much into account. That John would constantly, use seeing the girls against her. She made him sound kind of like he was also like a mooch. And he was with that one woman, Adriana, or whatever her name is. They were together and then they split up and she had taken a knife to him or something like that. We learned last week. Yeah, the key is, that was certainly very interesting of like, oh, these keys are for a completely different car that are also wrapped in the bag. But again, why would you see? That's what confuses me of what was the point? Because yes, okay, it could have been an act of passion, if you will. Maybe John had said something that just like really pushed her over the top. But why take his keys, his wallet, the phone? Why do that? His head, it just doesn't make sense why you would do those things. I mean, I guess you could be like, take them to deflect off of you, but it doesn't even really make a lot of sense to me. So I don't know. It's very confusing. Hi, Kelly. Hi. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well today. But it sounded like she really was putting distance between her, at least to the detectives, that there wasn't really anything going on between her and John, and that John seemed to be really wanting to, get the family together, but it also wasn't going to be romantic or anything like that, though he asked her to marry him, which, sorry, she's already married to your son, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But also, when she says, oh, there's nothing going on between us. Well, we've learned that that's not true. You can't really take her word for who she is or isn't romantically involved in. Because remember, she told him too that her and Devier's relationship, it was not like that. I hope the witness after this is going to be a digital witness, because as I think it was Juju earlier. I think it was you, Babs, but it could be someone else. And I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But, we read all of her handwritten, journal entries or whatever they were. Her texts have to be spicy too. Like, come on. So I really want to see those. I don't know. I don't know how this case makes me feel. I feel like there's more motive now, but also so many things that just don't quite make sense. So which says, this story makes as much sense as watching Lost, but only every 5th episode. Right? I'll say again, this interview definitely put suspicion back up for me onto Devyn. And I'm hoping then from here on out, we're going to be like, yeah, definitely has something to do with this. So, because we've caught her in several lies. Friday when they were playing another recording, or I'm sorry, no. Well, they had played a recording where she said, oh, you know, she was at the house that John was at, but he was drunk. Oh, never mind. There wasn't a recording. She told that to Yoko, his mom, that at like 1 a.m. or something like that John was passed out in the bed because he had smoked too much weed and gotten too drunk, that he just passed out. And while she was like doing dishes at Yoko's house, except the medical examiner said no. He had like 0.02% alcohol, blood alcohol level during his autopsy, which that doesn't mean anything. You know, that could have been maybe a beer, but also his own body making it. I don't know. What we do know is that he was not drunk. And I mean, I guess maybe he could have smoked weed, but even those percentages weren't very, very high. So we know that that statement wasn't true. We have to know that the wallet business is also not true at all. Devyn and Debbie are a double duo. Well, we know that, we don't know when her and Devier's relationship was rocky based on her writings. I feel like it's probably around the same time, because she said earlier at some point in the trial, I want to say it was an opening statement, they shared a few texts that Devyn had sent Devier just in the couple of days. I think it was like August 3rd, because the murder happened August 7th. So I think it was the 3rd, somewhere between the 3rd and the 7th. She had texted him, liar, cheater, in all caps, repetitively over again in one message. And then, said, you need to move out. So, and then you have John, his dad, who by all accounts isn't the greatest, possibly moving in. And maybe she just did it so she had her girls. Maybe she was like, you know what? Fuck them both. If John's out of the way, I can have the girls. But it doesn't explain the head thing, because that's really, that's a choice. Like, that's a very, I don't know what kind of mindset you have to be to do that, but I think in a pretty intense one, to cut off somebody's head like that. Certainly a lot of anger and passion, I think. Unless, again, she used a gun and the bullet stayed inside. But would she have known to have done that, though? Does she seem like somebody that would know? Like, oh, yeah, the bullet. I don't know. So, again, this interview does make her seem a little bit more suspicious, motive-wise. Because I was like, okay, maybe her and John are rekindling or something, If that's the case, and you'd have your girls all the time, then why kill them? But to me, it didn't really sound that way. And I think she just didn't want to be trapped again with him. And she was over his son acting that way. Oh, it's just a freaking gnat. Oh, God, guys, I can't. I'm just on edge because I saw that mouse. I don't like it. How about you guys? What did you guys think of the interview? Did it confirm anything for you guys? Or I'll say she's pretty calm for how emotional we know she can be from her writings. She just seems pretty, the father of her children's head has been cut off and you're sitting outside the house, and I'm just saying, I don't know if I would be that chill. So, Kelly says, if anyone missed TMI on Friday, I highly recommend it for all the laughs. Thank you. That was a really fun show we did. Oh, we needed it after a week like last week. So yeah, if you haven't, this last Friday, TMI is normally a members only show that we do every Friday, but the first Friday of every month, we do it for everyone, and we had a great time. Particularly the mystery date segment of old VHS dating videos was fantastic. So Savage says, that's why you keep snakes around to deal with the meese. No, that's worse. That's worse for me. If it was a snake, I wouldn't even be on right now. I'd burn my house down and run away. She's probably emotionally disconnected. Yeah, I think, oh, man. So interesting. I can't wait for the digital evidence. So they better bring it because they sure did talk a lot about it in opening statements. So, and I'm going to need it. Effing mints. Yeah, that's a new one too. That's a good time. Oh, and today, you guys, when we break for lunch, Terry is going to be doing Midday Missing. So you guys will be portaled over there to watch her cover a couple of missing person cases, which would be great if you watched and at least shared the missing persons posters on social media and stuff. She likes to cover cases that didn't or aren't getting a lot of media attention. And so just by watching and sharing the photo, it could do a lot and maybe bring somebody home for their families. So she'll be doing that while we're on lunch break. But then as soon as she's done with that, you'll be portaled back. You won't miss any court, I promise. So there'll be a little bit of portaling for today. But that won't be for like a little while. So Stringer said, so she was married to Robert Baker? Yes, she was married to him. I've mentioned a few times, but maybe a new listener here. The Monica Cimatelli trial that happened, I think this year, right? Was it this summer? Pretty sure. Robert Baker was Monica's affair partner who, I guess they conspired to kill her husband, Fabio, who, yes, was a hairdresser. If you know, you know. And that Robert Baker was also married to Devyn earlier, before she met John and Debbie Eyre. Small world this true crime circle is, right? Yes, but she was not the stepdaughter that he married. She was after the stepdaughter. I don't know when, but that's also why she has a different name now. Because then, when she was married to Robert Baker, she was going by Tracy Baker. Now, I don't understand how she has all these aliases. Like, I don't know if after she gets divorced, she just changes her whole name or what. I don't understand why she has so many. We haven't really gotten an explanation on that. So... Kelly said, I tried to watch the VHS Dates YouTube channel, and it just isn't the same as watching all of the commentary by Llama, Amos, and Lady in Gray. It was epic. It was a lot of fun. Those people, you know, Lyle, he's just a fart in a hot skillet, you know, just a fart in a hot skillet. Juju says she's incarcerated, right? Probably on meds, reason for her calmness, and Robert Baker kill. She is in jail. She did not get to bond out. I don't know if she's on any medication or anything. I don't really know how that goes. Yeah, no, Robert Baker was no good. No, not great. Not great. He killed Fabio. Like, he took a plea deal and said that he's the one that did it. He said Monica didn't have anything to do with it. But also, you know, he did, you know, fuck a 13 or 14-year-old stepdaughter of his. So that's gross, real gross. And then later married her, and they did all adult film stuff together. These people are weird, man. Weird. Chase is like, honestly, that's a great idea. New marriage, new name. I mean, you can do it. You can change your name whenever you want to, by the way. You know, so instead of cutting your hair, I don't know, maybe change your name and see what happens. That was going to make a pain in the ass to get any IDs, that's for sure. Lady Grace says, thought of a great merch idea. Thanks, Dustin, for Llama Learns. I need my paddles. So, what else do I have for you guys? Oh, I'm doing that poll to see if you guys would be interested in me maybe doing like a once or twice a week, like true crime news segment, like a roundup of news. So if you are or are not interested, either way, There is a poll in the chat right now, and you can just pick which one. Just kind of lets me know, either you guys want to do it or, maybe I shouldn't. So please do that. I appreciate all of you that have already submitted your answers. So thank you for that. Angie says, oh yeah, these are her names. Devyn Michael, Tracy Baker, Tracy Tavares, Nikki Fairchild are her AKAs. Yeah, because John, Deviere, Yoko, and her boyfriend all called her Nikki. So she is a woman with many names. Many, many names. So I don't know why you have that many, though. That seems egregious. What is her birth name? I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't think they've actually, Tammy Faye. I don't know if they've actually said, what her actual name is. So that's a good question there. She just says a lot. I'm going to go with Tracy just because she's used it several times, but I don't know. But she's not our Tracy. No one can replace our Tracy. Angie says Devyn Michaels is her government name, I believe. But yeah, but is it like a new? Did she just completely change it to that? Or I don't know. Line of work required fancy names. I mean, here's the thing. I have no problem with sex workers. I don't care. You're adult consenting, that's fine. But I could see how being a female adult film actress, perhaps you just had to change your name for safety reasons too. That could be an option, They have to use her government name on the indictment, then the AKAs. Okay, so legally right now, she is Devyn Michaels. Okay. Juju says, does anyone remember Prince's song, Darling Nikki? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think we cracked a few jokes about that song at the beginning of this trial. I don't think it was written about her, but it does make sense. Also, let's talk about how, Angie, you saw that Kathy Russin said that the judge doesn't want anything televised that isn't in front of the jury. That's so weird. I wonder why. They haven't even had that many things outside of the jury's presence.
All right, we are going to go back on the record and see 377-239, State of Nevada versus Devyn Michaels. For the record, clerk, Ms. Michaels is present with her attorneys. Deputy Defense on behalf of the state, the both parties stipulate the presence of our jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Justice, you're not
Well, I got to pee, but I'm just scared of the mouth.
Thank you. Detective Skinner, if we could start with a timeline of 8/7,
Okay.
specifically in reference to...
Pray for me. I'm going to go be brave.
Yes.
It's your understanding that she was initially interviewed at 12:11, just after noon on 8/7, correct?
Would that be that first interview with Ozawa and Pappas?
Correct.
I'm not familiar with the timeline. That sounds about right.
And then at 14:29 hours on 8/7, you and Detective Ozawa go to the Porcupine Rim residence.
Yes, sir.
And when you arrive, you see Devyn getting things out of the Nissan, correct?
Yes,
The Nissan was parked, the Yamaha was parked in the driveway, correct?
it was.
While you and Detective Ozawa are walking up in the driveway, it's your testimony that this phone at issue is next to the driveway, correct?
Yes,
Next to the Armada.
fairly close.
And then at 15:08 hours, Devyn is interviewed at the Porcupine Rim residence by both yourself and Detective Ozawa in the vehicle, correct?
Yes,
And then it's at 15:20, while Devyn is being interviewed, the girls bring up the phone, correct?
yes,
So the phone has been out there, at least based upon your seeing it, from at least 1429 hours, correct?
Yes, it is.
And it's nearly an hour or so later than the girls bring up the phone. Fair to say?
Yes.
There's discussions concerning this phone, Daddy's phone, something along those lines, correct?
Yes.
And the phone is looked into, correct? It's handled.
It was handled, yes.
At this point in time, the airplane mode is not switched on, correct?
Correct.
So if there's notifications on the phone, presumably those notifications now by operation of looking at the phone, getting into the phone, those are no longer there, correct?
Fair to say.
Devyn confirms that it's Johnathan's phone.
She does.
And in fact says, here, this should help you, correct?
Yes.
And then at 1919, a search warrant for Porcupine Rim and the vehicles is signed, correct?
Yes.
Was there a previous affidavit that had been submitted for the search of the Porcupine residence, or was that the first? I
am not certain on that.
Detective Ozawa would
Yes, sir.
probably be better suited.
Yes.
But we do know that at 7/19 or 1919, a search warrant for the Porcupine Rim vehicles was signed, correct?
Yes.
And then this interview, this last one that we were listening today, began at 1955.
Yes.
And obviously reference then is made to this phone again, correct? The phone that's found.
That's correct.
Through the course of this interview that we heard last week and this week, there's reference made to Johnathan losing his license, correct? Previously.
His wallet, I believe.
Okay. And in fact, you've learned through the course of the investigation, there were texts that confirmed that.
Yes.
So there've been texts between Devyn and Johnathan wherein, hey, Jonathan's lost his license. It's found, and there's a discussion in reference to that, correct?
Again, specifically, she mentioned wallet.
Okay. But they were actually both lost at one point in time, were they not? At one time the wallet and another time the license, and they communicate concerning the losing of the wallet and the license and the finding of both in their text
You could make the
messages?
assumption that the license is in the wallet. However, I'm only privy to what she disclosed to us, which was his wallet specifically, and that he had sent a picture to prove that he found it.
But then I said there are pictures to prove, in fact, and corroborates what she had said, that prior to your interview on this date, he lost his wallet and or license and found them, and they texted about it, correct?
Correct.
There had been, through the course of your interview, a reference made to Andrea, Jonathan's previous girlfriend, and the pulling of a knife, something along those lines, correct?
Yes.
There was, in fact, an incident somewhere where that had been discussed previously.
I'm sorry, repeat.
There had been an incident where, I mean, there had been some discussion among the family about Andrea pulling a knife or something along those lines.
That's my understanding, yes.
In reference to an injury that Devyn says that John had told her about, she said that she never saw a bleeding injury, correct?
That's correct.
She had said that Johnathan had told her that he had hurt himself moving, correct?
Correct.
She had made reference to a white table that he was moving, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, that white table that she
I had to look that
discussed
up,
with you
but
was in the garage.
It was.
interesting.
Again, it confirms the movement of this table. It had the big folding sides, correct?
Yes.
It was found in the garage. And she made it a point to say she didn't see any blood. He had just said that he'd injured himself moving that, correct?
Yes.
And you'd fair to say, I mean, based upon common experience and knowledge, people can hurt themselves, whether it be a cut, a pinch, something like that, in moving heavy furniture.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, happy memberversary, Lady in Gray.
There was a
Thank you.
discussion concerning some medical conditions.
Argument.
Devyn had, correct?
Yes.
she had talked about this inability to engage in actual intercourse, and you followed up in questions.
I did.
After that, correct?
Yes.
She had said, you can look at my medical records that have these medical conditions, correct?
Yes.
And are you aware that she in fact had medical conditions concerning sex and things that address such?
No.
Did you take any follow-up steps to substantiate that she in fact had seen a doctor for a variety of different reasons?
At the time, it wasn't relevant. Her medical history and the fact of whether she could be intimate with her partner, it was more of things that were being discussed during an interview to clear up the confusion over the relationship. Since that point, we were very unclear on her relationship with individuals in her life. So at that point, her diagnosis, if she had intimacy issues, just wasn't something that was relevant to the investigation.
At that point in time?
Correct.
And obviously, these investigations they're not necessarily static, they're ongoing, correct?
Yes, very much so.
They're dynamic.
Yes.
Devyn had been interviewed on 8/7, correct?
Yes.
And again, fair to say that both you and Detective Ozawa were kind of having a difficulty understanding this relationship dynamic between the parties.
Who
Absolutely.
isn't?
Fair to say that Devyn's statements weren't necessarily helpful at times.
You could say that, yes.
Fair to say that Devyn's explanations of things were not necessarily helpful at times.
Correct.
Through the course of your interview with Devyn, you talk about rings and that rings are significant.
Yes.
They're a sign of a commitment.
Yes.
Right, Trace?
She had testified that she wasn't, or she had told you that she wasn't particularly sure what was in the bag, correct?
Yes.
Things were being moved, things were kind of hectic, correct?
That is correct.
Fair to say it's kind of ambiguous concerning when these contents were put in the bag, correct?
Ambiguous is when they were placed in the bag?
Yes.
No, she indicated that that occurred at a specific time or instance at the home before they turned around and went right back to Porcupine.
But we know for a fact that they actually were at the home and they actually went to the other home, to the Paladera.
Yes.
Again, a lot going on, correct?
Yes.
What about the dogs and the two chairs?
Devyn had been
Oh, God, I hope we don't do that
subjected to
again.
multiple interviews on 8/7.
Yes.
There was discussions concerning keys, both the key or keys to the subject truck as well as Andrea keys, correct?
Yes.
And she had told you that she had handled or was aware of the keys in both instances, correct?
Yes, she indicated one had Andrea's name on it and the other one was a set of truck keys that were next to some smoking paraphernalia.
You were able to corroborate that Johnathan was a smoker
Correct?
of both tobacco as well as marijuana.
Yes, I believe the lab confirmed that as well.
Yes. When you were at the
I jinxed us.
Paladera residence, obviously there was evidence of smoking both inside and outside the house, correct?
Yes.
As well as alcohol bottles, things of that nature.
Yes.
You had testified that the interview techniques initially concerning Devyn, I think you said were more like free form?
Correct.
Of that nature?
Yes.
But then they became, through the course of the day, more accusatory.
Yes.
You testified that you engaged in another form of interview technique, correct?
Correct.
A more confrontational technique.
Yes.
And that was employed by both you as well as Detective Ozawa.
Yes.
The read technique is generally used by your police department.
I wouldn't say that it's used by our department. A lot of people are trained in the read technique. However, most of us that have been detectives for, several years, we develop our own technique. We'll take a little bit of something that we've learned in a class that works for us, and then there's other times that we'll be taking online courses, or through just our course of our experience, we'll adapt our techniques to our own strengths.
So, however, it's fair to say that you have been trained and implement the read technique?
I have been trained in read, but I don't believe that I'm still implementing that.
Same question, if, to your knowledge, Detective Ozawa, the read technique is generally the beginning, or the basis of interview
The
technique.
read technique
I would
is
say it's a
problematic.
basis generally, but I don't know that Detective Ozawa has taken that course.
Okay. Early on, and this is now before your interview with Devyn, you were engaged in an interview with Yoko at the Paladura residence, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That interview began at 10:43 a.m.
Yes,
and concluded at 11:28 a.m., correct?
yes,
45 minutes.
very fast.
45 minutes.
Yeah,
You were there to try and gain information to help you in your investigation, correct?
yes,
She cooperated.
she did.
You didn't have the use of an interpreter, but it was clear that you both understood each other.
Yes,
At times were discussed concerning that night in question.
yes,
On 3 different occasions, it was discussed a noise that disturbed her at 3 a.m., correct?
I don't recall a noise being discussed.
Dogs barking.
Okay, dogs barking, yes.
On 3 different instances during that interview, there's a discussion of dogs at 3 a.m., correct?
Okay, I would have no reason not to believe you.
And if I showed you the interview transcript, you'd have no reason to disagree.
I would not disagree if I could read them.
So 3 times dogs at 3 a.m., correct?
Sure, yes.
Okay, I'm not tricking you. I'm
Yes,
telling
sir.
you. At no time was there any discussion of a bang or anything like that at 2 a.m., correct?
Not that I recall.
Because that's something that you would have taken note of, because it would have been.
It would have been significant.
If I can have the court's indulgence just one moment.
She did not, Yoko did not say that in her interviews, but she did say that while on the stand, that at 2 a.m. there was a very loud bang or something.
Question concerning the phone. We had discussed the phone being gotten into and not, put on airplane mode, which would have wiped the notifications, correct?
Correct.
Yoko had discussed calling Johnathan multiple times that morning, correct?
Yes.
Outside of it failing to have been put on airplane mode, was the phone ever taken off the network that you're aware of?
That's not something I would be aware of personally.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Yes, very briefly. Detective, with regard to the line of questioning related to the notification.
That was
on the
it?
phone, you would, I presume, defer to experts on airplane mode and that type of thing, correct?
That's correct.
The fact that there were no notifications on the home screen when you first saw the phone, was that important for you for any purpose?
Absolutely. There were statements made by Devyn that she had contacted or tried to contact Johnathan several times. So in my personal experience, I would believe that there would be notifications unless that phone had been interacted with prior to picking it up and bringing it over to the car.
Okay, and there will be an expert that talks about the contents of the phone. That's not for you to
Not my
talk.
forte.
But let's presume for a second that she did in fact text or call John after his death. Would this be something that you've seen before in cases where people try to alibi themselves or cover up?
Yes, frequently people will call someone they clearly know is deceased. They will go to their work and pretend and put on an act per se.
Okay.
So there are times that does happen.
Is it bad for you guys?
Not for
Fine
you to
on my
say,
end.
but
No.
it's not surprising to see someone call someone post-murder to essentially alibi and or cover up.
Correct.
I'll pass it.
Some follow-up. You've had investigations where someone leaves a cell phone at a home and then goes and commits a serious crime, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Again, to perhaps establish an alibi concerning their whereabouts.
Yes.
In reference to the phone, Johnathan's phone, there was communication, specifically a text sent by Devyn to Johnathan about 3:56 a.m., correct?
I'd have to defer to the records, but I have no reason to believe that didn't happen.
And that concerned the girls in registration that was to occur the morning of the 7th, correct?
A weird text to send at 4 in the morning.
Additionally, we had heard testimony last week concerning a landline at the Paladura residence. There was in fact a landline.
Yes,
at that
there was.
residence. And on the night in question, late 8/6 into 8/7, there were multiple phone calls from the landline at Porcupine to Devyn's phone, correct?
It's my understanding that there were, yes.
Previous night, that would be the night of August 5th, there were multiple phone calls from the Porcupine residence, that's where Devier and the girls, to Devyn's phone, correct?
I believe so. Again, I'd have to defer to the records to be certain.
Fair. Thank you. No further
Thank
questions.
you.
No, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please.
Bring the phone guy
Question on a full sheet of paper
or
with
lady.
Your name and your jury number, and counsel can approach.
Oh, they got questions. Jury questions, friends. They have not had any jury questions for a while. I think since like the first witness. The jury hasn't asked anything really, so they got some for her though. Ugh, Devyn girl, that wig makes you look crazy.
Did you check the white table in the garage for blood, the tape on Devyn?
I personally did not check the table, however, our CSAs or crime scene analysts as well as the detectives did, and they photographed the garage as a whole.
Okay, what did they find?
There was no blood on the table.
Okay? State any follow based on the jury.
No, thank you.
Defense?
Just very briefly, and it involves actually the phone. The girls were handling the phone prior to being given to you,
I
correct?
did not see the girls. I would assume that they had handled it. They had to pick it up and bring it over to us. Now, whether they manipulated it, I couldn't tell you.
Swiped up, anything like that, you
Could
can't
not
say.
tell you. They appear to have just walked over from where the phone was and up to their mom's side of the car.
But just so we're clear, though, that phone was out in the driveway for some time, correct?
It was, yes.
In fact, through the course of Devier's interview, he had made reference to that phone, correct?
I wasn't in that interview, so I couldn't speak to that.
Thank you. No further questions.
Any follow up on that case?
No, thank you.
Do ladies and gentlemen, the jury have any further questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, name no excuse, thank you very much for your testimony
Oh,
today.
okay. They just wanted to know if there was any blood found on the white table evidence, but no.
Next witness is Jared Spangler.
Jared Spangler. Devyn lived on Porcupine Street, and then his parents live on Llama.
Thank you.
Oh, who's that lady attorney? I feel like I haven't seen her.
Yes.
Yes. And sir, please state your name and spell it correctly.
My full name is Jared Spangler, Jared. Spangler is Spangler.
State where you're in.
Sir, how are you employed?
I am a detective with the Henderson Police Department.
How long have you worked in that capacity?
I have been a detective for 15 years, and I've been with the Henderson Police Department for 22 years.
What unit are you assigned to as a detective?
I currently work in the Digital Forensic Lab.
Can
Here
you
we
tell
go,
the ladies
guys.
and gentlemen of the jury a little bit about that unit?
Yeah, the Digital Forensic Lab analyzes cell phones, computers, tablets, vehicle infotainment systems, smart devices. Anytime there's a crime that occurs where there's an electronic device that may have potential evidence, it comes to the Digital Forensic Lab, and we analyze it in a forensically sound method so that we can extract the data and then be able to present it to the detective for their investigation, for their final determination of what they're going to do with their investigation.
And what type of programs are used to do that?
There's several different programs. We have, specifically for cell phones, we use Celebrite. We also use another software company called Axiom. Those work as well for tablets. When it comes to vehicles, we have a software system called Burla. And there's some other ones, but those are the main ones that we utilize to extract the data from those devices and then to analyze that data.
I think the other two.
Can
we
you tell us a little bit about your background, training, and experience that makes you qualified to be able to do these investigations?
Yes. So, like I said, I've been in the Digital Forensic Lab for about 10 years now. I've performed over 3,900 examinations, all sorts of different devices. I've been trained by the FBI, the HSI, Secret Service. They have a national facility that they train law enforcement in how to perform these type of investigations. I've received a little over 1,200 hours of training and certifications from that facility alone. I've also had training and certifications from every specific vendor for the programs that we utilize. So like I said, Celebrite and Axiom and Burla, those softwares that I mentioned, I'm certified to use those as well. They have specific vendor certifications, and I have those as well.
So then turning your attention to this case, on August 8th of 2023, were you contacted by Detective Ozawa in regards to a vehicle infotainment system?
Yes, I was.
And was the obtaining of that vehicle infotainment system a part of a search warrant that was granted by a judge?
Yes, that is correct.
And this was for a homicide investigation that had occurred on August 7th, 2023, or began at that time?
Correct.
I believe the request was made by Detective Ozawa for this investigation, the digital investigation, and that was to be performed on a gray 2017 Nissan Armada. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And the VIN number for that is JN8AY2NF9H9300802. Is that correct?
That sounds correct.
Do you have a reason to dispute that?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. And it was your understanding that that vehicle had belonged to a Devyn Michaels, correct?
Correct.
And did you actually make contact with the vehicle?
I did, yes.
Where did you make contact with the vehicle?
The vehicle was located in the basement of our police station, and so that's where I went to the basement.
And is that common sometimes for vehicles to have their investigations done in that basement area?
Yes, it's a secure area where it's not going to be disturbed. No one will be around the vehicle. It has a door that prevents anybody from coming in and potentially altering any evidence or anything like that.
So it's a very contained area, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
When you came into contact with the vehicle, it had already previously been sealed prior to being transported to this basement, correct?
That is correct.
And prior to your testimony, there were a lot of photos that were taken in this case, but you saw the vehicle yourself, correct?
I did.
Okay, and you reviewed these photos prior to testifying today, these in my hand, correct?
Yes, I did.
And I believe pursuant to stipulation between the parties, the state is going to move to admit 442 through 463.
Those stipulations,
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
442 to 463, be stipulated to me.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Showing youth 442. What do we see there?
That's the 2017 Nissan Armada.
And 443, another angle of that.
Yes. Same vehicle.
444,
Yes.
445, we get a license plate there, and can you read that into the record?
Yep. It's Nevada 30A as an Adam 470.
446, another angle of the vehicle.
Yes.
And I want to note both passenger doors to this vehicle. There appears to be these red tapings there. What are those?
That is evidence tape that I believe the crime scene analysts are the one that put those on there so that you would know if someone's opened the door, if it's been altered, because the seal would be broken.
And that's the ceiling we were talking about earlier,
Yes.
correct? 447, just a close-up there with the seal, correct?
Correct.
Then 448, obviously you go inside the vehicle, is that right?
Yes.
And is this just a photo of inside the vehicle, the front side of the vehicle?
Yes, driver's side.
449, what do we see here?
The gear shifter and the middle console.
450, another angle of that area,
Yes,
taken from the passenger side.
that is correct.
451, are you aware of this being located inside the vehicle?
I didn't personally see it.
Okay. But no reason to dispute that it would have been
Correct.
found in the vehicle.
Yes.
452, are we getting to the back of the vehicle now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and this would be on the driver's side, correct?
Correct.
453, same back of the vehicle, but now from the passenger side.
Yes.
454, is this just under the hood of the vehicle,
Yes, it is.
the engine area?
Yes.
455, would this be the rear trunk of the vehicle?
Yes, that is correct.
And this was a hatchback, so the back would actually lift in the air, is that right?
Yes.
456, more of the trunk of the vehicle.
Correct.
What is being lifted up at that point?
I'm not sure. It seems to be some type of covering for the back there.
But it was searched, it looks like.
Yeah, yes, it was.
457, more of the vehicle.
Yes.
458, what do we see here happening?
So the vehicle infotainment system is behind the screen of what you would see inside the vehicle. So you can see the screen up above, but right beneath it is where there's a hard drive. And so in order to extract the data from the infotainment system, I have to get that hard drive out of the vehicle. So I had to disassemble some of the components so that I could access the hard drive.
And there's actually a mouse in front of you if you want to hover over that area you were just talking about. Yes, don't click, just hover, please. Please hover, sir, in that area you were speaking about.
So you can see that there's these little wires right here, the little connection points that I had to disconnect. The logic board where the hard drive is attached to. There's one right there, and there's a few down here. But in order to access this, you have to take the whole front face piece off of it.
And do we see that in that photo, that front face piece?
Yeah.
Can you please hover over that?
Right up above, up here. That's where like the volume for the stereo is, to change the channel, things of those nature. So all that had to come out. So I lifted it and put it up there.
And this is a typical procedure of what you would do when trying to collect data from a infotainment system, correct?
That is correct.
And showing you 459, what do we see here?
These are, so once the logic board is taken out, I had to take specific pieces of that apart so I could access the hard drive. So what you're seeing here, there's one there's a second one here, and a third one. These are just cover pieces on the board itself to protect the hard drive so that if there's any, I don't know, maybe liquid or anything like that, it's protected. So I had to remove these pieces off of the hard drive itself and the logic board so I could access the hard drive.
Showing you 460, we see an extra piece there. What is that?
So this here is, it's just a secondary logic board that's connected to the first one. And I believe over here, it's kind of to the side, but pretty sure the hard drive was connected to this logic board over here. So it's just more pieces that need to be removed in order to access the hard drive.
And these tools that we see sort of above that area, I'm pointing there for you, it looks like some screwdrivers and different tools. That would be a part of your kit, is that right?
That is correct.
Not something found in the vehicle.
No, not at all.
Probably not.
461, what do we see here?
More of the same pieces that were attached to the logic board themselves, and the tools are above there.
Kind of, but not really.
Now these green objects, those are the logic boards that you're referring to?
Correct.
Okay. 462, just more components to it.
That is correct. Coverings for the hard drive itself, yes.
463, what do we see there?
Some more of the tool sets. Right here is the back piece. You can see that there's a little vent because it has to keep cool, so it has to have air coming in and out. And then obviously all the screws that piece everything together to the main housing, and then just additional tools to perform the extraction of the hard drive.
So now that you've taken apart the infotainment system, what do you do after that point?
So once the hard drive has been removed from the logic board, I bring the hard drive back to the digital forensic lab, which is in the same building. I take it up to the digital forensic lab, and I connect the hard drive to a forensic computer, We have to use forensically sound methods, which means we have to prevent anything being written to the hard drive. So we use a write blocker, which only allows us to see the contents on the hard drive. So I can see the contents, but I'm not able to alter those. That way we preserve the evidence. So at that point, we create a digital forensic fingerprint, we'll call it. It's a hash value, but it's a fingerprint of the data on the hard drive. So when I extract the data and I put it on my forensic computer, I can then create another fingerprint and compare the two to what it was before and what it was afterwards to make sure they match. So I extracted the information, put it on the forensic computer, then I open up the Burla software that I mentioned earlier, which allows us to process and analyze the specific data on that hard drive.
So specifically, what type of data is being imported into this Burla software?
So the hard drive contents itself, there's databases. That's usually what infotainment systems have, are databases. Kind of think like an Excel spreadsheet. It's a database with input, data on there. And from there, it has to be analyzed. It has to be sorted through to figure out what specifically is it saying. What is the data?
So it may be an oversimplification, but it's essentially Burla acts as sort of a reader of the data. Is that right?
Yes.
And then puts it in a reader-friendly format so that you can actually see what this data is saying.
That is correct.
And it's not altering the data at any point when you're importing it from the drive into the Burla system, correct?
Correct.
So after you do that, the raw data is now inside the Burla system. What does the system do? Or what does the software do at that point?
It allows the user to be able to analyze it. So it, specifically for infotainments, this infotainment system, it recorded GPS location. And that GPS location is organized in trips. So when you start the vehicle, as soon as you put the key in and it turns it on to the accessories or on to the on position, it begins recording GPS, and it records that as a trip. So we'll just say that's going to be trip number 1. Every second that GPS is recording on that trip number 1. So you may drive from here, point A to point B. As soon as you turn the vehicle off, that's trip 1. If you take the key out, you turn it back on, now you're on trip 2. And so it organizes it in these databases I was mentioning earlier. It organizes it in a process where you can see the trips. You can see the latitude, the longitude, the elevation, the speed during each GPS waypoint. So it records all these waypoints and it's organized in a way. So Burla, the software, allows us to go through and map all those waypoints, those GPS waypoints, so we can see the trip. So we can physically see, okay, this is where it started and it's going along and this is where it ended. And this was the speed and such and such.
And it takes into account dates and times, correct?
Yes, I forgot to mention, I apologize. It does, every second that the GPS pings, as we'll call it, it records a date and a timestamp.
And then ultimately, are videos created that show in a friendly manner where the vehicle is moving at what date and what time around the valley?
Yes, the software, the Burla software allows you to take one of those trips and animate it so that it's what we would be visually appealing for us, what we're used to seeing. It puts it on a map and you can see it, plot it. You can see the vehicle go the direction and go from point A to point B.
So now that you have this raw data or this information that was put into the Burla software at this point, it's in a way that you can actually read it now. You then get some information that was gathered from Detective Ozawa, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that was related to the investigation. Specifically then, having that information, did you hone in on the dates of August 6th, 2023 to August 7th, 2023?
Yes.
And that was because that was of importance in the investigation, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And how do you actually sort of, do you just filter to those dates and times, or how do you just hone in on that?
Yeah, because everything's recorded in a descending from the oldest to the newest, you just scroll down to the dates you want, and you can see everything in with a 24-hour period or a 12-hour period, whatever is requested by the detective. And so he requested a specific time period. And so I just scrolled down and highlighted those at that point. Those were the focus.
And you were able to find 11 videos of evidentiary value, is that right?
Yes,
And so that would essentially be 11 trips or so?
that's correct, yes.
Okay. And prior to testifying today, you provided those trips on a flash drive, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And I believe at this time, Your Honor, pursuant to stipulation of the parties, the state is going to move to admit Exhibit 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Don't format it.
Don't
please.
format it, okay. Can I ask you to step down? Do you know what's going on with it, or?
Yeah, if that's okay.
You're
yeah.
the,
Okay.
you're the tech guy, so I better leave it to you.
Your Honor, I think I need to watch this all happen right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here. This is why we employ the experts. All right, sir, so I have pulled up here Exhibit 7. It appears that there are videos entitled number 1 through number 11.
We don't see it.
Oh, that would
Sorry.
be helpful. All right, so we see here, again, video number 1 through video number 11 of Exhibit 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And going through this, obviously you went through each video, and there's certain trips that became important as part of the investigation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So we're going to open up video number 1. I'm going to pause that. What do we see here in video number 1?
So this is the Burla software that I was explaining earlier. These videos I created, I just used a Windows capture program so you could see what I see as an examiner. So this is the Burla software. The trips that were of importance, I made videos for those trips. So this is one of the trips. If you look, I'm not going to click, but I'm going to hover my mouse over here. You can see this is the timestamp of when this trip, we're looking at trips, when this trip began on 8/6 of 2023 at 5:19 p.m. That's adjusted for UTC, for our time. It's not UTC. Everything is recorded in UTC. So we have to subtract the 7 hours. And then the trip ends on the same date at 5:58 and 33 seconds p.m. So one thing you'll notice if you look over here, you can see the count is 2,368. That's how many waypoints. Every second the GPS is recording, that's how many waypoints or GPS points are recorded in this trip. So you can see the distance was 25 miles, the elapsed time, the average speed, those things that that the GPS system will actually record. So what I did was, when we hit play, you'll be able to see, I'm going to animate this trip so you can follow where it goes.
And just briefly, because I don't think we've talked about this yet, can you explain what UTC time is?
Yes, so it's Greenwich time. It's the time over in England, and we are every hour that it's spread out by distance, and where we are at right now, we are, well, I think we're 8 now, but we were -7 at the time. So it's either -7 or -8. So everything is recorded in UTC time. It's the same way with computers and cell phones, vehicle infotainments. Everything is recorded in UTC time. And then the system and us, we have to manually adjust according to time, daylight savings or not.
And so the times we're seeing here are not UTC, they're the correct times.
They're
correct?
adjusted, yeah. And it even...
Yeah, I'm working on it. Thank you.
It said
No,
it
but
on
thank
there.
you.
I adjusted it so we wouldn't have to do any math in our head or anything. It's just automatically adjusted.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and press play on this video. And then I think we saw you click animate tracking. That's that process you were explaining previously, right?
Yes.
What else do we use?
So you're looking at the overview at this second. I'm zooming in so that as I hit play, you can follow it along.
Okay.
So this is where the trip starts. And you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, again, I'm not going to click, but you can see down here the date and the time when the trip started.
And what is that, just for the record?
That is 8/6 of 2023 at 5:19 and 12 seconds p.m.
Okay, and that's just where we're stopped right now, correct?
Correct, yes.
And we're able to determine that that dot right there is the 2698 Paladura Drive in Henderson, correct?
That is correct.
And then I'll go ahead and play for more. And what I notice right now is it's going fairly quickly. It looks like, I'll stop here.
Yeah,
The
if you just
bottom
pause it.
right, there's something that says 5 times. What does that mean?
Yeah, over here we're next to the mouse 5x. I didn't want to have a 45-minute video for a 45-minute trip, so I times it by 5 so it'd be a little bit quicker so that I could condense it a little bit. That's the only reason I made it 5 times, so we wouldn't be here all day watching videos.
And we appreciate that. Playing the video.
So at this point, you can see there's just a little bit of movement. It means the vehicle's on. It hasn't moved yet. There's a little bit of movement. It doesn't necessarily move that it doesn't mean that the vehicle has moved. It just means that it's on and it's recording GPS location. Kind of bounce around a little bit right in front of the residence. And you can see down here, the seconds are moving rather quickly, but you can see the seconds there. Roughly 20, 25, and so on.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. Okay. At about, I think it was around 5:32, we then see the vehicle begin to move. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll press play. And it appears it's going down Windmill Parkway at this point outside of the neighborhood.
Yes.
And ultimately, this trip, as I scroll across, is just the vehicle is traveling across the valley, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And then ultimately, the vehicle comes to a stop, is that right?
Yes.
And that stop happens at 5510 Porcupine Rim Street, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's essentially the end of this trip.
Yes.
Then we have another trip, and that's labeled as video number 2, correct?
Yes.
Publishing.
You might have to use VLC.
And again, you're clicking animate tracking, correct? Or
Yes.
track log, excuse me. And where is the start of this trip?
At the Porcupine address?
The 5510 Porcupine Rim?
Correct, yes.
And what date and what time?
You can see the date down here. It is 8/6 of 2023 at 7:37 p.m.
Pressing play. And again, vehicle begins to travel, correct?
Yes.
I'm just quickly scrolling through. Again, this is at 5 times that you have it set at, correct?
That is
Or
correct.
5x. Ultimately, vehicle ending its trip at that same 2698 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes,
In
correct.
Henderson?
Yes.
Okay, and roughly at about 8:06 p.m. on that same date, August 6, 2023, is when the vehicle comes to a stop on that trip, correct?
Correct.
And that's the end of that one.
Yes.
Okay. Opening file video number 3. Again, clicking animate track log.
So if I could just push pause just real quick. So this actually has 2 trips, and I'll explain real quick. So this first trip is very, very short. It's a span of 10 seconds. You can see the date here at 8/6/2023 at 11:05 and 46 seconds. The vehicle's either turned on or someone put the key into the accessory so you can listen to the radio. One of those 2 options, the vehicle was in an on state, and for 10 seconds, this first trip here, I think we're calling it trip number 3, this trip number 3, the vehicle doesn't move, but the GPS is on and it's recording. And you're going to see that there's some movement there just because that's how GPS works. Sometimes it can be off anywhere from 5 to 30 feet, roughly.
And it is possible that the vehicle may have moved slightly, but it's hard to tell from this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and press play. Okay, what are we seeing here?
And yeah, that was the 10 seconds. So I don't stop recording at this point. I now go to the next one, which is a few hours later.
And I'm just going to pause. Around what time did that trip start?
So this is a few hours later on the 7th at 2:04 a.m.
August 7th, 2023 at 2:04 a.m., correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And again, at the 2698 Paladura Drive address.
Correct.
And the vehicle is now moving, correct?
Yes.
Going down Windmill.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. And I'm going to pause here. It looks like at about 2:28 in the morning, same date, August 7th, 2023, it looks like the vehicle is sort of hovering in this one location for a bit. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we determined that that was CVS located at Cheyenne and Durango with the address of 8320 West Cheyenne Ave, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Pressing play. The vehicle is now moving, is that right?
Yes.
At about 2:31 in the morning,
Yes.
same date?
Yes, on the August 7th.
I'll go ahead and skip ahead. The vehicle is making its way across the valley, correct?
Yes.
Have I missed anything good? Sorry, I just stepped away.
Landing
Family
at
stuff.
that 5510
Hey,
Porcupine
company.
Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And the time being 2:44 in the morning or so
Yes. that
on
is correct.
August 7th, 2023.
Yes.
Have I missed anything interesting with the first three
Video number
videos?
3 with the annotation zoomed in at the end. And this is that same trip, correct?
Yes, I labeled it as zoomed in. I wasn't sure what was going on. You can see that there's a lot of movement down there. And after further investigation, it seems like
Okay, I'll stop you there. So at 2:44 in the morning, this is that Porcupine Rim sort of stop, but it appears that there is some movement within the neighborhood, correct?
correct. Yes.
Showing you video number 4.
Thank you, Juju, for doing
It's a new
that.
trip,
It does help,
correct?
even if everyone
Yes.
can't see it. It helps a lot.
This is at 8:01 a.m. on August 7th, 2023.
And the starting address is that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And I'll go ahead and skip ahead. Oh. It appears that the vehicle exits the neighborhood on Ann Road and then makes what looks like a U-turn back into the neighborhood,
Yes, that's correct.
back to that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Yes,
And this is at 8:06 a.m.
that is correct. The vehicle's left on at this point.
The vehicle begins moving again roughly at 8:10
Yes.
in the morning. Go ahead and skip ahead. And I'm going to stop it right here at 8:16 in the morning. We see the vehicle, and it is stopped at what appears to be a Funny's gas station and car wash, correct?
That is correct.
And that's located at the intersection of Lone Mountain and Rancho there, specifically 4747 North Rancho Drive, correct?
Yes, that is right.
Pressing play.
At this point, the vehicle is still on.
I mean, if
As
she
soon
did
as
it
it
by
turns off,
himself,
the
there's no
trip
way she
ends.
could have moved the
So
body
still
from
he's
a
remaining
vehicle to his
units.
bedroom.
There appears to be some slight movement there around 8:18 in the morning, correct?
Correct.
Still some slight movement there,
Yes.
inching along. And that trip then ends, correct?
Yes.
Publishing video number 5.
Could be.
What time does this trip start?
This is on August 7th, 2023 at 8:21 a.m.
And this, again, we're starting at that Funny's car wash
Correct.
gas station. Looks like vehicle begins to move around 8:21 or so.
Yes.
Sort of those slight movements we saw earlier. And now the vehicle is moving out of that area, correct?
Correct.
The vehicle then proceeds through the valley.
During our break, I'm going to go back and watch the parts I missed while I had to step away. I had company. So
This is where the vehicle
here.
parks.
Vehicle parks. Does it appear to have parked at a children's school, so at the Torrey Pines, Washburn sort of intersection there?
Yes,
that we
there's an
see?
elementary school there.
Okay. And that would be Ernest May Elementary School, correct?
Yes.
And the trip ultimately ends at that elementary school.
Correct.
Video number 6, picking up from there. And around, it appears 9:27 in the morning is when this trip starts, still on August 7th, 2023. And again, we are starting at that Ernest May Elementary School, correct?
That is correct.
I do like how they make the trip
And
move.
that trip
It's the little
ends
things. Oh, did they? I did not know that. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the update.
vehicle goes back to that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
That's correct.
And ultimately ends there, correct?
That is correct. At 9:30 a.m.
Publishing video number 7. trip starts at that 5510 Porcupine Rim, correct? At 9:35 a.m.
Yes, on August 7th, 2023.
Zoe, I'll be back.
Go ahead and skip through. Traveling across the valley. Looks like it's on Summerlin Parkway. Ultimately, trip is concluding at 9:57 a.m.
That is correct.
And that appears to be Summerlin Hospital, 657 North Town Center Drive, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Publishing video number 8. It appears to begin at that Summerlin Hospital address, correct?
Yes.
At 10:09 a.m.
Yes,
on August 7th, 2023.
that is right.
Eventually ending at that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And that was at 10:26 a.m. on August 7th, 2023.
Correct.
Publishing video number 9. The next trip. Starting out at the defendant's home, 5510 Porcupine Rim Street, at 11:33 in the morning, same date.
That's correct. Yes.
Ultimately, the vehicle traveling across town to scrolled a little too fast there. It appears the 2698 Paladura Drive address gets there around 12:07 in the afternoon.
Yes, that's correct.
And the car stays on at this point, it looks like.
Yes. Yes.
It's like nobody wants me to watch any of this. First family, then my dogs. Like, not important.
And the trip ends there at 12:43 p.m., correct?
Correct.
Publishing video number 10. Next trip. Starting out at that 2698 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes.
At 12:51 p.m. or so.
Correct.
Scroll through. Trip ends at about 12:54 p.m. and it appears that it ends at a Taco Bell at the corner of Windmill and Pecos, correct?
Correct. It's like a parking lot right there.
Finally, video number 11. Publishing. So next trip.
Cool.
And it originates from that Taco Bell at 1:31 p.m. on the same date. Ultimately, once we scroll through, ending at that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And it ends at 2:01 p.m. on August 7th, 2023.
Correct.
And between all these videos, these were this was the date and time frame that Detective Ozawa was most interested in based on the investigation in the case, correct?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Detective Spangler, now, when the car comes in, you're the one that actually physically goes in and pulls out the unit, correct?
Inside the vehicle?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
So it's sealed at the scene, and it's not open until you open the door, correct?
I didn't open the doors. The crime scene analysts, since they're the ones taking the pictures, they physically open the doors.
Were you present for that?
When they opened them?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. In your time in spend in the car pulling out this unit, you kind of observe the general condition of the car when you're pulling out the unit, right?
Yes.
I'm putting up what's State's Exhibit 458. And then how do I switch over to this?
Those dogs.
Yeah, we plug it back.
Zoe, I'm going to need you to go lay down, please. Speaking of dogs,
And this,
I'm over
right
mine.
here is where you take the unit out, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct.
And you see this, counsel with brushes and various items of Miss Michaels, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna put up what's State's Exhibit 448. This is a different view from the car, correct?
Yes, the driver's side.
And you would go into the driver's side to get that unit, so you would probably sit in the driver's seat and pull that out.
I believe I accessed both sides,
Both
at
sides,
some
okay.
point
So
throughout.
you're aware of the, the condition of the car and kind of what's in there,
In the front, yes.
right? It's kind of a messy car from your view of this, correct?
I have teenagers, so my idea of messy might be a little different.
Well, it doesn't look like it would just, it's not wiped out. I mean, look, she's got brushes, there's things in the car, it's dirty, we dirt on the floor, so it doesn't look like it just went and got detailed.
Correct.
Now, when you're accessing this unit and as you're pulling it out and looking at the console, and like you said, you accessed both sides of the car from the driver's side and potentially the passenger side,
Yes.
you didn't observe any blood in the car, did you?
I don't recall any blood.
Nothing on the steering wheel?
I don't recall touching the steering wheel, so I don't know, but I from my memory, I don't recall any blood on the steering wheel.
But you're in the middle looking at the console where someone would be touching, obviously they put the car in gear, they've got the shift knob, so they would have to touch that. You didn't see any blood on that.
I didn't.
I'm going to put up what State's Exhibit 451. This is just an ID that was found in there. Like I believe you said that you didn't see this, but this is something that would have been in the car with Miss Michaels' personal belongings, correct?
Yes, I personally didn't see this, so I don't know where it was, but the crime scene analyst must have taken it, so yeah.
Now, going back to the videos that the state put up, there was a end of video 3. There was like some squiggly lines kind of going. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you previously testified that when the car is there, it can give or take 30, 50 feet. In that clip, it looked like it was zoomed in on.
5 to 33 feet.
5 to 33 feet.
Correct.
Okay. And then, are you aware of the Funny's gas station, or you just know the location?
I'm not aware of it. I just look at the map.
So it's not like
Yeah.
you went out to Funny's and looked and saw what was there.
No.
Funny's gas station has gas pumps.
I would imagine.
And if I told you there was one, do you have any reason to disagree with me?
No.
At that location?
No.
That's the first time we've seen this lawyer
No.
talk. I'm pretty sure.
You looked at the infotainment system. Were you asked to do anything else on this? case to examine anything by Detective Ozawa at his request?
Yes, later on there was I believe it was a cell phone.
Cell phone, Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 cell phone. I don't want to read up all the model numbers, but it's safe to say you looked at that, or
Yes.
he asked you to examine that.
That is correct.
And that happened to be one of Devyn Michaels' phones, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And that was a additional request by Detective Ozawa.
Yes.
Court's indulgence. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any follow-up, state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Do ladies and gentlemen of the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
testimony.
Oh, okay. So they're probably going to go to lunch break, you guys. While we're on break, I'm going to send you guys to watch Midday Missing, and then you'll be brought back here for the second stream. But I'm going to go back and just check the beginning of those videos around the time of death because I've been curious. And then when we come back, we can talk about it for sure. So, but we'll see if they're doing lunch or not.
So we're gonna take our lunch recess at this time, and then that way we'll have all the technology and everything set up by the time you guys get back. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. You must not report this thing or use your media accounts for commentary about the case. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using references. You must not make any investigation, test, or theory of the case, recreate any aspects of the case, or any other way investigate or learn about the case from your own. We must not form or express any opinion regarding this case or the vice versa to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:40. We will be in recess until 1 o'clock. All rise for the jury.
I don't think I can talk as fast as her. Oh my goodness. She talks so fast. Oh, my hair is crazy. Well, you guys, that brings us to our lunch break. We will have the other stream up here shortly for us. I'll be back. Court resumes at 1 is usually what she says. Well, no, I'm sorry. 1 their time. It's 2:45 here, which is 4 Eastern time. So I will be back maybe like 5 to 10 minutes before that starts. But we are going to portal you over to Midday Missing, and you guys can watch that with Terry and help spread the word about the missing people she's covering today. And maybe, just maybe, by you sharing, somebody could be brought home in some way, shape, or form. So she's auctioning off lunch. I mean, it is impressive. It is impressive. Let me, though, before I do that, let Miss Terry know that we're going to be leaving for lunch. Now, even though I missed some of the beginning of it, chat is like, we didn't miss anything. I don't even know what they're doing. Getting ready to portal. So we'll see if there's anything there, but I'm going to go back and watch those. And so I will be back 4 o'clock Eastern. Well, I'm sorry, like 10, 15 minutes before that. So you guys go do good things and keep Terry company. And I will be back soon. So until next time, go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.